And we're here, within one screen.
Hello.
Hey, Roger.
We barely fit. Hello.
Yeah, you're so close.
Yeah. But we're responsible.
Yes, because I've been vaccinated and he's half vaccinated, so together we are 1.5 vaccinated.
I even have a negative test. I failed again.
Yes, so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one screen time. Yes, we are on one screen. So, Roger, what do you think of my street?
Yeah, it's broken.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, well, it's true though. It's broken. But it looks nice. So,
Well, that's the other way to put it.
so this is us talking cows and calves.
Putties and coffees.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's the best screen. Yeah, that's the best thing. So Roger will be joining me, of course, this evening, which is quite obvious by now. We'll be talking about the Precipice of Dreams, of course, and we have our main topic, which is what was your longest running campaign and how did it get there? So we are not familiar with long running campaigns at all.
No, neither with the Precipice of Dreams. So this is going to be a boring episode.
Yeah. So good night.
Yeah, this was our show. Thanks all for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll see you in
It's
2 weeks.
9:02. This is the shortest episode we've had yet.
We're at Set Records.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it would be really strange to end it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will not end it now. So, let's talk about stuff.
Stuff, yeah. Sure. What kind of stuff?
Socials?
Socials, yeah, we have socials.
Will you be the one who does the socials?
Ooh, not feeling like Michel today, but yeah, we have some socials, apparently. If you type ! Socials, there we go, in chat, then you'll get a link to our link tree, and there you'll find all of our socials. If you want to help us out, please support us on this channel here on Twitch, on our YouTube, and follow us on the Instagram and all the others. I'm forgetting half of them, I think.
Maybe you should mention Discord.
Discord, we have Discord, yeah, and that's actually somewhere where I'm actually active. Join our Discord, it's fun. Join the community, talk with us, share your thoughts on our shows or whatever. We don't care, and we'll do the same.
Yeah, even the Nightbot is telling us to go to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So there you go. You could do that as well. Hey, you actually did quite nice there.
Where? With socials?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my department though, but yeah.
No worries. So that's one thing out of the way. The other thing is we also have shows. I'll be doing those.
You?
Yeah, because next Monday it will be the Precipice of Dreams again. Dang, forgot the Dungeon Master's name.
I don't know, Eric?
Yeah, Eric will be DMing again. He's doing an excellent job with the tentacle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very phallic, but if you are into that kind of stuff, then it's your kind of adventure.
That's his thing though, yeah.
Yeah, it's at 9:30 Central European Time on Monday. And then the Tuesday after that, we'll be having another Jasper's Laboratory. And I'll be discussing my Dramour campaign again. Last week I thought I would do the whole adventure, but of course I got to game 1, which was okay because I had a lot to tell. I think. I hope I can streamline it somewhat in the next episode because it feels kind of chaotic. Although I like the chaotic thing.
Yeah, that's kind of your thing. Though,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
That's this show.
Okay,
well.
we'll keep it chaotic. And then the Monday after that, we'll be having another very special episode of the Parallel Projections. If you watched Parallel Projections yesterday, you have seen Michel doing a one-shot. Well, no, that's not a
solo adventure?
Solo adventure with adventure book. How do you call it? Where you go to number blah, and
choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure, yeah. Which was great. Which also explained the rules of Call of Cthulhu somewhat. So I paid careful attention with that, and already was in character in chat. I was kind of a bastard, and which is so
something
against my nature.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the thing, and that's all because Michel will be be the game master. What is it called? Hello, welcome to Gulfstream 96. 69 would have been fun as well. Hello from Lancashire, from Lancashire, UK. Welcome to the stream. Welcome.
Oh, welcome. Yeah.
He will be the keeper of arcane lore, like the Dungeon Master, but different title because it's Call of Cthulhu. And then Eric and me will be joining, but that's boring because we are always here. And then, of course, Top Down Tabletop will be joining us in the form of Shanks and Vix, and they'll be continuing their adventures with us. And last but not least, Ashley will be joining us as well. Our silver judge in oh man, for some reason I can't keep the names of those games in my head.
The games themselves.
No, which is really
Dusk City Outlaws.
Dusk City Outlaws. Thank you so much. Which is really strange because I loved playing that game. I want to return to that character at some point in my career, which will last like 100 years. So it could be in 99 years, for example. But hopefully I will still be having fun at that age. And there is Ashley. And hello from Fleetwood Mac.
I'm not sure it says Mac, but okay.
Oh.
But
anyway.
yeah, so you're doing another thing on the Monday, Call of Cthulhu, right? That's what the whole story you were just on about was about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just summarizing,
Adventure.
paraphrasing
Yeah.
for the people just tuning in or trying to follow what he's saying.
Yeah. Because what?
No, nothing.
I'm not clear?
No.
Yeah. So and I think Michel will be finishing his Cthulhu thingy.
What?
The page thingy adventure stuff.
The choose your own adventure.
The choose your own adventure stuff
God.
this week. Yeah.
It's on the cue cards there. You can just read it.
Oh yeah, it's on the cue cards. Dear citizens of the United States of America. No, well, sometime within the next 2 weeks, says Michel. Yeah. So there you go. Better not to tattoo that on your arm because there's one too many ins in there.
But yeah, you need to arrange a date where I can actually join in on these games because DMing is fun and all, but I want to play with all the wonderful people out there as well. And you always plan it.
I do that. Why don't you?
I don't know
that?
because you're here now. I can complain to Michel, but he's not here. Yeah, he's in chat.
But
it's
why
not same.
aren't you doing that?
Because I have another adventure on that
Oh,
Monday.
and you want to play.
Yeah.
But then you organize it so that you can play.
No, yeah, but you
On
always
Sundays.
plan it on the on the Mondays.
Plan a Sunday or something.
I have to work on Sundays.
Ah.
Oh my god.
What day, Roger? Asked Michel.
Friday or Wednesday.
Friday or Wednesday. So there you go. On a Friday or Wednesday. Hello, Esner. Welcome to the stream. Only 2 more days, Esner, before the big day. That's an inside thing.
Okay. Yeah. It's,
Well, I think we've talked enough. Let's go into the intro because, of course, there will be an intro after all this talk.
yeah.
Because otherwise we won't get to the next part of our show.
Maybe even I can say something at some point. Would be nice, right?
I think you said enough.
Yeah, enough. Okay,
Well,
no, I don't agree with that.
Before the intro, then you.
Yeah, okay, go,
Yeah.
go.
Go. Okay, we are messing with the lights because we heard that the camera wasn't that sharp. That might also because we've got very smooth skin.
My skin is very blurry. It's it's
Because
natural
we have very
censorship.
smooth skin.
Yeah.
So, the 2 things we'll be discussing is the main topic, and then, of course, we are doing the Precipice of Dreams, which you like very much because you always want to hear us talk about the Precipice of Dreams. And I think you have the tendency to, if you ever get the chance to talk about the Precipice of Dreams on this show, that you are the one that's asking the questions.
Yeah, probably, because I
So
can't say
let's
that
see
much
what we
about
what
Precipice
will,
of Dreams.
yeah, what will happen there. So Gulfstream 96. Welcome to the chat. This first part because you're new is about our Precipice of Dreams adventure, which we'll be doing next Monday again. So this might be kind of new for you, but maybe it might also trigger you to come and watch, right?
I hope so.
I hope so, and you can always watch them from the start on the YouTube channel. But you can also start at episode 11, I think, where we really get into the current arc. Although we are starting a new arc right now,
I was
but
about to say, yeah.
that's the most recent arc, so to say.
Well, we are starting somewhat of a new story.
And we're starting somewhat of a new storyline, so you can just join us next Monday as well. And this is for all of you, of course, in chat. But I like the first comment.
Next session might be a bit of an epilogue, some kind, maybe still.
No.
No, okay, no, it's fine.
No.
Okay.
We are on our on our way to Brentwick. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Do you see what I did?
Is it the whole War of Tears?
It's the whole War of Tears. Yeah, it's not part 5. It's the whole War of Tears. I thought if I have you on my show, I better do the whole thing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah, let's start at the end.
yeah.
So if you have any questions for us, chat, about the last 5 episodes, maybe a few questions for Roger, as he is the Dungeon Master and not Eric, of course. I was kidding. Then please ask them. And if there are no questions in chat, then we know that you're a dedicated fans.
Is that how it works?
It might be sarcasm, it might be.
Okay,
not be.
I'm not familiar with this Dutch sarcasm thing. It's weird.
Wow, brilliant! Thanks. My pleasure. I've never seen Eric and Roger in the same room. That you haven't.
That's true. I've never seen Eric and Michel in the same room either. So.
No, I have seen you in my room a lot of times. In the living room.
Just sound okay.
In the living room.
Okay.
You might have been in my bedroom, but
no,
I think
let's
that was just
keep
to
it,
look at the closet.
At the closet, okay.
Because you wanted to come out of it, and then.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, just kidding. We're both happily married to a female in this case.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters, no. But
so, thanks for making it awkward. This was our show. No, you wanted to talk about the War of Tears. Okay, so you want to start at the end or the beginning?
It's all up to you.
It's all up to me. So it started out. Well, for me, it started out as this idea in my head where I wanted to make an epic conclusion to the present story arc. I always said that in our circles, I'm known as the DM that likes the epic stuff, the full bombastic cinematic experience. And when we started Precipice of Dreams, I said to you guys, this is going to be something else. This is going to be a bit darker. But you can't learn an old dog new tricks. So, sorry?
Calling himself a dog.
Yeah, that's my Chinese star sign. But, so I wanted to do something special for this, and I wanted to have a build-up to it. But I also wanted to represent the scale of what was happening in a correct way. And I'm not sure if I did at the start. I felt really inadequate in a way. Like
us traveling across that road towards that tree, for example.
Yeah, and when the fighting started, and whether or not I was descriptive enough about what was happening and how large everything actually was in there, and I had my doubts that whether or not I conveyed it correctly afterwards. So
are you asking me? And maybe are you asking Chad, for example?
But you as well. How was your experience in that first?
Well, it's funny that you're saying this, because I think that the only thing that why it felt a bit strange to me, and I'll explain later because you did a magnificent job, is that I think the first episode should not have been called The War of Tears. and because then the way to the tree or something, because when we finally in the second episode, the field opened and we saw the tree and those things were dropping, then I understood, whoa, the War of Tears.
Yeah.
But that's in the name.
That's
I think.
fair enough.
Yeah. So, and I think that I didn't understand the scope either of what we were going to do, but that grew across the episodes, and I think that's okay because. We were thinking of going to save the druid and stuff, and this meant something to us, but...
it felt very small. Like a simple dungeon quest, go in, rescue guy, and get out.
Yeah. Welcome, Jara5.
Hello.
Welcome to the chat. First time chatter as Golf Stream 96. So welcome both to the both of you. And please join us in our conversation. Yeah. Esner says, wasn't it just very cool not to have any idea about the scope initially? Mostly Dutch. But
Mostly?
Yeah, there's 1/4 Belgian in our midst.
You mean Michel?
Yeah.
Because he lives in Belgium.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's Dutch. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, 1/4. That's why I'm saying 1/4.
I thought you went me. Because
one quarter of a whole person.
Yeah, okay.
Not 1/4 of the 5 of us. That would be
maybe
strange.
Michel and me added up because my parents are from Limburg.
Yeah, that as well. The
See,
Dutch
he's
Limburg.
Dutch, he says it.
I'm Dutch, yeah. No, we kind of know. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Esner says, wasn't it just very cool not to have any idea about the scope initially?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, yes. I think it mattered greatly. I think that it was cool that I didn't know the scope, and that is why. But I've always had this, and I think we have had the conversations about this, about titles of chapters and stuff. The Herald, or for example, it has never been my thing. My thing has always been afterwards.
Yeah. Describing what had happened.
But. And we have done that for the rest of the Precipice of Dreams, but I think I don't mind. I liked it very much, but I thought that the trigger was in the second episode, and then I think
it was clear what you wanted to do, right? I mean, you didn't foresee an all-out war or anything.
No, I thought infiltrate the tree.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and but then
should have brought an army. But,
well, I saw them kind of as fodder.
Okay, yeah. Well, they were in a way. Yeah. The distraction.
And then the scope expanded every episode. I think that if we say the second episode was when we went into the tree and went up the tree.
That was very cool.
Yeah, that was very cool, and that already it's like when we met Imara and Imara.
Yeah.
Previously on Imara. Anyway. And when we went kind of invisible and walked into the den, and we saw all those springans there, that I thought, oh, shit. and there was only one way forward, which was the way forward.
Yeah.
One way on, which was the way... Anyway. And I had the same feeling here, that I suddenly thought, well, we are passing a lot of guards. This is going to be difficult at some point.
Yeah, your intel was kind of wrong.
Yeah, but where did that happen?
Because they hadn't been there for a while.
Yeah, that as well.
So they assumed that the invaders that came first were the only ones that were there, but they reinforced. They
kept reinforcing, apparently.
And they settled as well, and put up defenses and stuff like that.
Yeah. So there were kind of hundreds of them.
Yeah.
About 200 maybe.
Something like that,
yeah. So that was scary. And I think that when we had our fight in the third episode... then when we started that fight, I already knew that was going to be kind of hard. Yeah, but then we started failing.
Yeah, but it is, man, that episode, it threw such a wrench at my plans for everything, actually.
Yeah, so What did it do for you, the death of Thomas?
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
More than you can possibly know right now.
Yeah.
But it happened. And I talked a lot about it with Erik behind screen. And yeah, we came up with a plan of how we wanted to handle this. And we're still in the process of that.
Yeah. So I really like that. And I also like that he had to keep silent for a whole episode.
Yeah.
Not because of it's Eric, but because of the fact that this can happen at your table.
Yeah, but to be fair, I said that in my DM's corner thingy on the Discord as well. With character death, it's hard enough to lose a character, and you don't need to punish players even more. And this felt like extra punishment for me because he had to keep quiet an whole episode and just sit there with this green filter over his face and just listen in. Then he was just he was just eye candy on screen. No, he was fine with it.
Yeah.
I mean that's
So I think this is a funny thing as well because I think I mentioned in on previous Talking Voids that when that episode ended, you asked me, "How are you doing?"
Yeah, but you were more emotionally stricken than Eric was.
Yeah, and I so love that feeling. But then, so we always talk about giving your players what they want.
Yeah,
and you did that.
But I gave you what you want.
Yeah,
but
at
the cost of someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric didn't want to lose Thomas, and
yeah. But for me, it was a great experience.
Yeah, okay. Definitely.
And that is the experience. So here we come into the thing, is it a good experience or a bad experience? It is a good experience because I felt bad.
Yeah. It's just like thinking a sad movie is a good movie. It's when it makes you feel stuff, then it does what it's supposed to do.
Dungeons and Dragons is like a box of chocolates.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really weird because it's a live show. I think that mattered in the decisions we made. If it was a game that was played at the table, then we might have gone another way with how we would have handled this as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, I as a DM, I tend to look at what my player wants. Does he want his character to be resurrected? Does he want to continue? Or does he want a new character, or anything like that? But I think having it on stream and the impact that it created affected both Eric and my decision in this matter. Well, it was mostly Eric's decision anyway. I could only come with suggestions for him, and but he decided, so it's his thing, and everything that's going to happen in the next few episodes is because of what Eric decided. So we'll see.
So I have no idea how I would feel if Bowen died. I think I would be pretty sad as well.
Well,
but now I'm going to say exactly the wrong thing. But that isn't an experience that I've had either.
No, I'm not gonna force that on you. Don't worry. No. But even with this, I mean, there was a high level caster present, and during the episode, she said I can't do that, and it's not the way. But
it was pretty interesting as well because could have been the way.
Well, it was one of the solutions. I mean, as soon as Thomas died, I had like 3 ideas pop up in my head. Okay, we can resolve this in this way, and all of them would have been an outcome in which it was justified that he would be coming back. But I want to avoid plot armor. You guys should never feel like you can't die, because you can. And even though there's this whole personal story developing all around all of you all, still, you can die, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. So I thought that was a very interesting thing, and a funny Dungeon Master mechanic as well, because this sense of where she could not have resurrected him was built around the fact that he didn't want to be resurrected.
Yeah, in a way. Well, to be fair, it would have been the most boring one. The most boring option. It would have allowed him to continue playing immediately, and that would have been fine. And, I mean, at the table, if he had said, I want that, then sure, I would have gone with that. But story-wise, it was boring, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I could just have cast, third level spell? Revivify.
Revivify. Yeah.
And then it would have been fine. He wasn't dead a minute. So...
Yeah.
And that's it with D&D as well. The resurrection is really easy. And as you gain levels, then one of you might even learn the spell. It's not like...
Well, she might not have had 300 gold of diamond dust.
Yeah, or it's just against her beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
She is a creature of the life domain. Death is part of life, and maybe you should just leave that alone when it happens.
So we are trying to be open about what happened in the game, and at the same time we aren't actually saying what actually happened.
To be fair, when that's the hard part for me on this show. I don't want to ruin the story experience if I explain every DM mechanic behind every decision I've made. Then, I mean, I could tell you what the initial plan for the War of Tears was. It was completely different from the way it turned out. But
no, you shouldn't do that.
No, exactly, and that would ruin the story experience as well.
Yeah.
But
I think we've discussed it as well. The players and even the viewers now are experiencing a linear story, but it could have branched at so many points already.
Yeah, it's just one big quantum story. You don't know what story is until you open the box. That idea.
It's all kind of cats.
Yeah.
It's
Schrodinger's D&D
box of D&D. Yeah. Is it the red box?
But that's the DM's process. I mean, you can have an idea, but then you have 2 weeks between a session, and that idea might evolve into something completely different. And that's what happened here as well. Thomas' death changed a lot of how the last 2 episodes went.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can. So after that, so we went to the tree. We sneaked in with a lot of deception, persuasion, suggestions, and stuff, which was great. Then we fought in this chamber where the pixies were being held, including the queen, which we had to free. She came. She was set free by sewing in the way.
Sorry, I want to go back to all the skill challenges on the way up to the tree. How did you experience those? Because when I first thought about the Lacrimar, this giant tree in the middle of the grove, I said it had 7 plateaus.
Yeah.
But that meant I had to come up with 7 different feeling skill challenges.
Oh.
And
did you experience that?
Yeah, I thought to myself, damn, this has to be varied in a way, because
I think this is your OCD speaking.
Yeah, I know, but that's also the
but I recognize that point. Well, the funny thing is that as a dungeon master, I have to be really careful not to put on my dungeon master hat when I'm in such situations, because otherwise I'm going to overanalyze stuff.
Yeah, which you tend to do.
Yes.
Like, a quarter of his HP bar went away with 25 damage, so he has about 100 hit points.
Okay. There we go. Oh, did it bother you? Or
no? I recognized that behavior. I would have done it and said exactly the same.
Well, I think that, for example, Misha would have had exactly the same thing with that bar.
But sorry, go back to your...
So I was... and we've also discussed about like skill challenges through different sceneries, especially when we discuss your other adventure, The Herald.
Yeah.
Where you talked about me doing skill checks through cities and stuff, and devastation, and I do them as well, and it's improv for a large part, but you still want to keep it exciting in some way, where the causal effects are really impacting the
Yeah,
situation.
To be fair, if you talked about going into meta or over-analyzing stuff, if you looked at the episode, then you could have seen something that might have looked like a decision tree. Like if they do this correctly, then we go there, and then there, etc. And if a failure, then this happens. But the skill challenges, usually, I don't have a tree like that.
No, exactly. And that's what I was trying to get at, that I win them as well.
Yeah.
But I think that for the player experience, you have to keep the feeling like it's real, and have to know that the stakes are real.
Yeah.
And that is sometimes it's quite difficult for me. But I felt it at times during this encounter. But as a whole, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, but me too.
Yeah.
I was so happy with the results, but
Yeah.
when I was doing it, it was storm inside my head. I had to come up with all this different stuff and
The animals and flying out of the tree and flying back in again. And
and then players start asking different difficult questions like, "What kind of animals?" And then you have to come out with
bear owls.
Bear owls, displacer beast, beast displacers, whatever.
Yeah, what did I make them?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was. I thought it was awesome, and even though some of the skill checks might have been the same, the setting around those skill checks was different every time.
Yeah.
Even with those last two where you had to convince those guards again, but they knew Thomas, so that made it feel different as well.
An exciting one. I liked how that worked.
Yeah, and I was surprised that it went so well, because you succeeded at all the checks.
Yeah, and that's why the episode after that we failed at them all, because they had to be balanced
that
somewhere.
might be true. I mean,
rolled
it led to
once in a row.
Yeah, but every check you had a 15 or higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look back. It's all 15 or higher.
Yeah.
So that was insane.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Rolled really well. But Otrieve and I are very charismatic.
Yeah, and he has this ability that if he rolls lower than a 10, then it's a 10 or something.
Yeah, so that's really cool as well.
Yeah.
And at a low level, by the way, because Rogue gets an equivalent kind of thing at level 10, I think.
Yeah.
So then we went into the tree, and then we got into the fight where Thomas died because we rolled badly, we made bad decisions as well.
Yeah, because that was one of my frustrations with that session. I never said it openly before, but
here we go.
You made some mistakes during that battle, and I mean, you're all experienced Dungeons and Dragons players and very good on the tactical side during combat as well.
Yeah.
But there was one creature that you left on 1 HP for the entire combat that kept making attacks with advantage against people.
Yeah.
And you just one magic missile and it would have been gone. And that's...
but I was in this spot, because I worked my way into that spot on my first move.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't rolled once, like the number one, twice.
Yeah.
Then the scenery would have been different, but it shouldn't have gone left. That was my first mistake, because I didn't understand the echoes, and then I thought, okay, but Bowen might not have known this anyway. Even though I've seen that skill during the making of my character sheet a lot of times. So we started off wrong. Esther says, no, the story has been written in its perfection. It has always been this way and cannot be different. Therefore, it's the only right way. Like that one. And Michelle says, if you and Thomas would have been side by side, things would have been completely different. Yes. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the thing I was missing the most during that combat was the focused fire. Just you complained about the number of enemies and so the number of actions you had against you, but you did nothing to reduce those number of actions.
No, but I could have.
It's not just you though. It's
no. I know.
It's all of you.
But I'm here.
Yeah.
And I was constantly thinking about moving to gain that advantage, but then having to disengage to not spend my action to do actual harm, because I thought if I do it right, I can. Well, I couldn't even sneak at that point, so that was a thing as well. But yeah, well, it was complicated.
Yeah, I know, and
Yeah.
it all happened very fast, and you were kind of overwhelmed, and I get that. I mean, the Solwing split off as well, but that was that turned out to be one of the best moves of the entire combat, because he freed the queen, and that gave you a backup you needed.
Yeah. Ashley says, always my hardest moment as a dungeon master, trying to point out the party mistakes without being a know-it-all. I just want the players to succeed, and that leads to the metagaming for them. Do you ever get this wrong, Roger?
Well, I do help my players from time to time, especially in the dollar campaign that I run, in a way that I go over the options with them. If they're stuck and they're facing a difficult decision in combat, I mean, then I help them along. Hey, you have this ability, you might want to take a look at that, and stuff like that. And like this, I mean, blaming the players for being bad at combat. It's you should never do that. But I know these guys. I've played with them for most of them for 20+ years. And I know what they can do, and they just failed. I thought they could handle this, and I was...
You were so dead wrong.
Well, I should have been right, though. But
And the other thing is that I really dislike the fact that that arrow went at him and instead of me.
Yeah.
Because I could have just swallowed that whole thing, and then
that
needed
was
a 7 on my die
but it
roll,
was just a series of fateful circumstances, because it was a critical hit as well, and it was even his initiative order mattered in this way.
Yeah, I've had that as well, especially in 3rd edition when we rolled for every turn. Yeah, and then one guy was at the end of the turn,
and then he rolled again.
He rolled really high, and then he missed. Well, he died.
Well, that's
happened. What happened.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, my combats, especially if we get to higher levels, tend to be mechanically heavy. So I don't mind the players metagaming that much.
No.
I mean, I really like how you guys do it in Precipice. Like, you bring a lot of RP to the combat as well, instead of just playing a video game in a way. But I never tell my players that they shouldn't go too much into the meta, because it's a collaborative effort as well. It's a tactical game of them versus me in that way, and I present them with a puzzle to solve, and I don't expect them to. Well, say for instance, I know that Jin, he plays a soldier in my campaign, and he doesn't have high intelligence or wisdom. He's just brawny and dexterous. So at the start of the adventure, he thought, I'm not smart, so I'm not gonna chime in when they discuss tactics, because that's not my thing. But Jin is a very good D&D player, and he's very good at tactical combat. So not having his voice in that group meant that they would understand combat a lot worse than they would normally do. And
because the rest is stupid.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying.
But also caused
sorry,
Jin to eat himself up inside. Because he knew the answer, and he thought, oh no, that's too meta, I can't say that. And this concerns magic. Now my character doesn't know magic, so I can't chime in.
I really like switching between those two.
Yeah.
And I think the first time we really did it was at Amera.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a bit in the combat before that, but I think that's where we really started to doing so. Love my ass off. Jasper is throwing so much shade lately. Yeah.
He is,
lately?
That's nothing new.
And welcome to the stream, Shanks, by the way.
Yeah, welcome.
And there's Vix as well. Jasper being mean again.
Yeah, I can handle it, though. I can be mean to him as well.
I don't know why that is. Whoop, whoop. But am I really mean? I think I'm just being cynical and sarcastic.
But it's just
is
Dutch.
That the same thing?
It's just because he's Dutch. It's he has a different kind of humor. It's darker.
Yeah.
No one gets him.
Eats you up inside.
It's actually kind of sad.
Watch my tentacle.
Okay, that's not dark. That's just gross.
That's my finger.
Yeah. Sure.
Mature audience only. Anyway.
I've seen your mechanically heavy combats. Yeah.
Jasper making jokes. Yeah, that's a dark face. He may be Dutch, but his sense of humor is Dutch and go.
Yeah, touch and go.
I understand the language.
Okay, yeah, I thought I had to explain it to you.
Well, thank you.
Going into the meta here.
Going into the meta. Wow. This is all kinds of levels.
I mean, chat is complaining, but I have to sit next to you, so...
Yeah.
But yeah. We still like him, though, right? It's he is kind of a nice guy. I've put up with him for... how many years? 25 years now. No, 26 years now.
Yeah. Still having troubles entering my bedroom.
So,
anyway,
then Thomas died.
Then Thomas died. Yeah. So, well, we kind of discussed that part. It was really sad, and we were really sad. And I think we kind of this is the other thing that happened, because we kind of exploded with our emotions in strange ways.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that it was the end of the episode, because then you gather your thoughts and really start thinking, next episode, what am I going to do with this? We had kind of the same moment when we were in the town, which I now have forgotten the name. You know, where Thomas threatened Bowen in the night, and then
Cabri, yeah.
And then at the end of that episode, we didn't know how that would end.
Not that was on. No, it was it was between Cabri and Preston.
And we ended the episode like, how is this ever going to be a party? But then the next episode we started with working together immediately, or having a kind of conversation that
you self-corrected in a way. Yeah.
Because it's a cooperative game, so we also always have to think about how to get to the next session, not episode, session. Really, we do that in real life as well. Solve stuff. And that doesn't mean that you have to keep angry all the time. I had this player come to me and he said, that guy, even if it wasn't in his intention, by his mistake, my father died in front of me by being disintegrated. I don't know how to cope with that. Should I just leave this party? Then I had this discussion about, well, how could you solve it from your perspective and still maintain a relationship? You don't have to love him, but what are play the long game in the party, so to say.
Yeah, but then Thomas died and we came back, and Bowen was one of the most horrible creatures.
He just has a strange coping mechanism.
Yeah, he's like a child, but it didn't go down well with the rest of the party, I think.
No, but at the same time,
even though you all shared in your grief, you pretend that you didn't have any.
Yeah. Because I think that's what a child would have done.
But from my perspective,
a kind of
as well,
assertive child.
The death of Thomas was just a simple archer guy. It's no end boss or big bad evil guy. Yeah. And like I said before, I like my games epic. And this was not an epic death in a way. And we made it epic, and the story made it epic, but it felt... But I came up with a solution for that. So
that's cool. Yeah. Next on TV, back to separate screens. I like that one from Esther. Oh yeah, Jasper is great. Thank you, of course. And everybody's loving me again. Thank you so much. Misha says, I think all the characters understood that was just Bowen's way of coping, but understanding doesn't mean that I wanted to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I love that. And I hadn't thought about it until we started our show again, and then it just came out. Yeah. Because that's how natural that Dark Heart comes to me, and it makes sense every time.
It's kind of disturbing, though.
Yeah, I still have to do the Bowen Says things. They are here, around here somewhere.
Yeah, you don't have to prove it, but... sorry for putting you on the spot next.
No, that doesn't matter. It's okay.
I want to see it as well. I'm so curious.
Yeah, we know it comes natural.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So now the other Bowen is going to come natural again.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that Bowen again. Yeah. Not just because I don't like Dark Art. I love Dark Art, but
I've been
Yeah.
playing him longer than Bowen Goodhart.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so strange for me. Yeah. But anyway, so we dealt with him, and you told us the Archer story, and I can totally understand where you're coming from with that, because I've had such deaths in my campaign as well.
Yeah.
But then we went down again, angry and stuff. The war was raging. Pixies were killing stuff. Hunters were killing stuff.
And this was when the war really took off and became an actual war instead of a skirmish.
Yeah. So, and then we went down, and then we met a dragon, a giant tree ant. We met...
Oh, first you freed the druid.
Oh, yeah. That's after that. That's
that's last session.
That's the last session.
Yeah.
So
we're getting there, people.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
So we went down, and we went into this hole, and we saw this cage with the bear in it, the bear thing.
The druid.
The druid. And that was a nice fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. There was role playing there again, and still because
it was dynamic as well.
For me, I had no resources at
all. No one did.
Just my dagger, and I even threw that dagger at a certain point. And then, I think Altrief did quite well. But Eldritch Blast, you can always cast Eldritch Blast.
It works, works. But then the explicit curse, and it's just.
But we had a short rest as well, so he had regained his she had regained her spell slots, I should say. Yeah. Don't go hating on the blast.
No, we're not hating
on the blast. It's a great resource to have available at all times. Yeah.
Eldritch Blast for the win.
Yeah.
But yeah, you also learned from previous combat, and you focus down enemies almost immediately.
Yeah.
And you used.
I
think you used command.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it worked though.
Did you use command in that fight? I don't remember.
Have to watch the episode again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but that fight was...
There was the dynamic between killing the guards, which was actually quite simple, easy.
Yeah.
And then the bear releasing and attacking Altrief.
Yeah.
Which was a thing. And then we had, of course, the what was her name again?
The
stabby.
Finland.
Yeah, Finland. Who came in with her stabby and killed the mother of our dear friend Petal. Yeah, which was hard, which was really strange as well. That really scared me for a moment there. Yeah.
That death was actually planned months in advance. It wasn't just circumstance.
Okay, but could she have missed and not killed her?
No, stuff could have happened, and she wouldn't have been there, and that would have changed it. But if she had been there, then this would have happened.
So this kind of Deus Ex Machina?
It is, but did you know?
Well, I know now.
Yeah, I do. and that's what I mean when I can't say anything, everything, but the slight peek under the veil. It's,
that's cool. Yeah. I think I do those kind of things as well.
Yeah, well, it's not everything has to be a dice roll, or sometimes it's just storytelling, and it was called War of Tears for a reason.
Yeah,
and not just because outside there's a crying tree.
True. Yeah, there are all kinds of tears happening there. Yeah. Okay, so chat is going, well, Michel's going wild. Shanks is helping. Also use command, I think, who knows. I have so many awesome things I can do. True. Hard to keep track of how awesome you are. Altrief's best character changed my mind. In this campaign? Sure. Okay. Well, we all know Altrief is the strongest character in the group.
Well, to be fair, usually when combat ends, she's still, percentage-wise, the one with the most health.
Yeah.
So.
Because she's always scared.
Yeah, stands at the back.
Okay. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Just Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. And I think that we now know that Bowen can really run out of resources and not keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Altrief is an awesome character because most of the stuff that happened is because of her.
Yeah, as well. Because the episode ended with a dark sky an eye opening instead of where the moon should have been, and darkness corrupting the land. And then we went into the 5th episode.
Yeah, the final episode.
Final episode. I think this is the longest we've ever talked about the Precipice of Dreams.
Well, it's 5 episodes, so
it's
it
5
makes
episodes
sense
as well.
And I haven't talked about the Precipice of Dreams in a while. So,
yeah. So he has to.
This is all for me,
This is all
chat.
for,
I'm sorry
for him.
if you don't care about the Precipice of Dreams. Blame me.
So let's make sure that let's scroll up. Bum, bum, bum. Jara and Gulfstream, are you enjoying our show?
We're not going to wait on an answer, but please give us one.
I like POD. Thanks, Shanks.
Yeah, thanks. But so this episode started off with some interesting stuff, I think.
Yeah, so
you guys were all like 4 of these major characters showed up.
Yeah.
You had the druid there. We just saved. Suddenly, some kind of treant showed up. A dragon showed up, and Urda, which you had met before as well.
Yeah. It's funny that you're saying it like that.
Yeah.
That Urda is kind of the crux that came from the
Yeah. Didn't you put that together?
Briarwood cops. Yeah. Yeah. Well. After now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think we always kind of knew that she was like the de facto leader there, but I hadn't connected it in the sense that it's like an Amara.
Yeah. That way. Yeah.
So that's yeah.
But each of them, they're leaders of their own domain in a way. I mean that didn't. It was never spoken out loud, but I think that came over. Did it?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So do I. I think he means POD. Oh, part of. No, it was POD again. Anyway. So do I in the plot sense. Essen says, last episode, in decades from now, camera turns and we see an old lady finishing her novel. All this was her imagination to escape an otherwise boring life.
I think that's a reference to Old Leaf again.
Yeah.
Old lady.
Yeah. She's kind of old now, right?
No.
Oh, she's not.
Okay. But, so these guys showed up. And you guys were kind of awestruck. I thought you would chime in at some point. I had to do this conversation between 4 characters, which I always hate as a DM, like talking to myself. I tried to do it with different voices, but then I mixed up the voices, and it was kind of comical. But you guys didn't say a word. You just sat there and listened.
Yeah.
And I was waiting, maybe one of you to interject or something, but it didn't happen, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
it's funny that you're saying that, because you just described the soldier Jin in your campaign, where he doesn't go into the meta because he's too dumb in character.
Yeah.
But here, I'm filled with all these ideas that I have, but Bowen just doesn't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's not just Bowen. I mean, Odd Evil is talks, and usually we would have had a Thomas, but I think Thomas would have realized he's in over his head as well, and kept quiet.
Yeah.
So I just had a conversation with myself, and stuff happened. But also there was also another junction of how things could have changed if you had chimed in and said, "Hey, we want to do this," or you tried that.
I tried that. I tried that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that
from a Bowen standpoint.
Yeah, but I like that as well, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Darkheart realized that if you would go to the transition tree, then he would have been gone again. Yeah, and he was afraid of that. Yeah.
Well, I think he's more lighthearted about it now than he was in the first few episodes. He's sleeping a bit better as well, but. I think when they were going to this tree, he knew that this was the last thing they probably would do before the tree, and he had kind of gotten over it. But when he had an opportunity to maybe stay here because of reasons, he tried to grab onto that.
I felt that. That was nicely done.
Cool. Yeah. Do you remember what Odd told him? Well, I rarely listen to Odd.
But as I
Sorry,
said,
Michelle. What did Odd say to me? How did she say it? I kind of got lost in the hectic episode, I think.
yeah, well, before he answers, I just want to say it again. That also was kind of a story junction in a way that you guys decided to not say anything, but you could have changed the outcome of what was happening there. And you did say something, but they didn't agree, and...
Yeah, I know that, Michelle. Sorry, I thought it was something other significant. But yes, you were right. Yeah.
And did it feel like you had no agency there?
Okay. So sorry, I was a bit mixed up in that. No, I didn't feel that way.
No, okay, that's good, because you did. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think I felt kind of agency. But
Yeah,
I also
when I
think
look
that-
back at that moment and the way that you guys were all quiet, I felt like I took agency away from you. Like I was just doing this cinematic. Like you couldn't interfere or something. And because you kept quiet, it might have felt that you had to keep quiet.
Yeah,
But-
that's another thing. No, I didn't feel that at all.
Okay,
Although
that's good.
those
That's,
moments when the dungeon master
my own
does that-
paranoia then.
Yeah. But when I do understand what you're saying, because I recognize these kind of things, for example, in Critical Role, where something happens and then a conclusion. You would have liked to have interfered if you had known that afterwards you couldn't.
You could-
kind
yeah.
of retcon some stuff that happened there. You see that sometimes happening on those shows, and it's not that I dislike it. I understand why it happens, and they give the dungeon master they know that he's that kind of dungeon master, and so
Yeah.
that happens in that way. Sorry, I think I'm going to have to do this for a sec because I get the Facebook messages. Yeah. Add a whole personal speech for your inspiration. Michelle, you did great. Will you
Yeah.
do that now?
I don't know. It's
I don't
never enough for.
No, it's never enough. Okay. Anyway, but now we're dissing again. But I feel
No,
like
no,
he's
no,
doing the
yeah,
same
that-
thing as well.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
like
just
triggering
this
us
is,
in a way.
This is dynamic.
This is a dynamic.
Don't take us too seriously.
No.
Except when we're not talking about Michelle, then you can take us seriously. Sometimes, maybe.
You can take us seriously anywhere you want. Sorry, I'm having a mood.
Yeah, we will tell them whatever
Like to
we
the,
like.
the ice cream shop.
Yeah. Okay.
eat ice
But
cream.
so let's
Yeah.
continue. So you guys went on to defend what's essentially your part.
No.
Michelle.
Let's talk about what happened to Oldreef.
Oh yeah.
Now
Well,
we're
that
skipping
happened. Yeah. Well, we were already skipped over because that happened before.
Yeah,
those
I
four
know,
showed
but,
up,
so
yeah.
that's a bit strange. Jasper never liked me. I don't like your characters. That's a different thing, and that's not even true.
Let's just ignore this for
yeah,
a while. It's,
Okay, so Oldreef kind of got pulled in by a couple of tentacles, and that was kind of like a cinematic.
Yeah.
And where she actually saved Amara.
Yeah.
And I really like that part because I thought, she's going to strain against this thing and she might get pulled in, but instead she kept hold of Amara and did that really well. And
No, don't read chat. Stop it. It's
but it's a thing in Talking Void.
yeah.
And I really but I had a question there as well.
We're an hour and a half in.
We're
An
now
hour
in.
in. Yeah, we start
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Victory. Yeah, there we go.
Don't feed the troll.
Yeah. I had a question about that because Amara was the hag.
Yeah.
Is she still a hag?
The Mara wasn't always a hag.
Yeah, but that's what I think is confusing a bit, because So she turned in kind of a Lady of the Lake feeling. That's what I got out of that. But then Lady of the Marsh or something.
Yeah. Totally.
So you become a hag when you turn evil? Or can a hag also be a good thing? Okay.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that, how it works. But what I liked about that part is, sure, I took away his agency at that point, but it's not like I didn't warn him.
In episode 19.
And no, and all the episodes before. Every time he did it, I punished him for it, or it came back to haunt him in some way when he drained.
And that was interesting as well at the end when Michel said, but then I can never use this feature like it is written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he keeps doing it. And at the end of the episode 4, so like part 4 of War of Tears, it was looking like it was actually a really bad thing that he or she, Oddleif, did that.
Yeah.
Because you after the session, or maybe even on camera still, you said, and you always complained to me about making players feel bad about their choices. But this turned out okay in a way. It was.
Mine turned out okay as well, but 10 years later.
Yeah. But yeah, true. But I had a talk with Michel about it as well, and I didn't expect him to try to help her.
Okay.
And I mean, he said, and Oddleif had said that before as well, that he was so she was so interested in redeeming her. Like he Oddleif always asked Orda many times if the hag could still be saved. As soon as she knew that she was a good person before, Oddleif wanted to save her. And she did. But with all the anger going around in the party in the session before and before that, I didn't expect Michel to actually do it when push came to shove.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So some agency returned then, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the only agency I took away was the fact that it happened.
Yeah.
And within what was happening, he had enough choice.
Yeah, a cutscene with pressing A, B, C.
Yeah.
But then more complicated.
Yeah.
I never felt I lost agency, says Michel.
Good.
So that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then we came to the last fight, which was kind of a keep everything in check.
Yeah, it was. That was an actual a gauntlet.
Yeah. It was a gauntlet. I kind of felt that it could have been harder.
Yeah, it could have been.
You could have rolled worse for us.
Yes, I could have rolled much worse, but then it would have been extreme. There was some randomness involved in what creatures would show up when.
Yeah. So for everyone who hasn't seen it, we were in this shield and we had to. The druid was saving like part of the dream.
Yeah, well, cutting it off from
the desecrated,
amputating a part of the world.
And so we had to defend the druid, and all these baddies came at us, which were hard baddies. Even the dogs were, or the restless, who kind of like dogs, or.
Well, if they stand, they look more like humanoids, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think their joints go the wrong way, but
yeah. So and they even they were quite hard.
Yeah,
a lot of hit
strong.
Points.
Yeah.
So and that was the scary thing. If you didn't get them down, and the next wave was starting to arrive, then we had a problem. But then Oddleif did a lot of commands. Which,
that was
worked
so good.
Greatly in our advantage, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Perfect crowd control.
Yeah, even which is kind of weird because those creatures are immune to charm effects.
Yeah.
But Commanders does a charm effect apparently.
Oh.
Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah.
Not that I design encounters to counter my players. That's boring. It's You do that? No.
No. No, I don't. I do experiment with giving resistances or giving more hit points.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these creatures are of my own design, so I don't. Yeah.
So it was quite a dynamic fight, although it kind of happened in one part of the circle a lot.
Yeah.
But we had to remove and
that's most battles in D&D anyway. You make this huge elaborate map, and they only use the start of the map.
Yeah. And I think that what also went really well was that Oddleaf was doing her bonus actions after her actions to already target the next one. We had a kind of
there was this whole flow and
going on.
I mean, compare that with the battle where Thomas died, and this was a completely different story.
Yeah, it was much harder.
Yeah, but
one.
Yeah, it was much harder, but each of you performed that much better.
Yeah, true. Finally rolled a crit. We had a lot of good buffs as well.
Yeah, okay, but extreme. But that was calculated because I knew that those creatures
they were hard. Yeah, and then Thomas returned.
Yeah. Do you see it coming?
No.
Not at all. Not even at the last moment. I mean, when I said that the sword was blocked, did you know it was Thomas?
Then I knew.
Okay.
Yeah, then I knew.
Cool.
But I thought that if he would return, he would be... Well, I had thought of this echo kind of thing, of course. Like him returning as something of an echo. But I wouldn't have guessed that it would have happened this way. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah,
because the disciple showed up, and that guy is just beyond all of you.
Yeah, so then he goes and throws out 4 attacks, making that 8 attacks. Yeah.
I didn't even, when I made this character for him, or this upgraded Thomas version, I didn't even realize that he could do it. It's Eric that discovered it, and he says, so does this and this mean that I can make 8 attacks in one turn? And I read it and said, yep.
So he was somewhere between level 11 and 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like calculating that kind of stuff.
I think 11 is a bit too low to judge this. Because it was 16.
I could have done it on that. No, it was 16. It wasn't 17 because then he would have had another attack. Yeah.
Exactly right.
So I like that. Yeah, and it really felt like him returning, and it inspired me, and it was cool.
Yeah, well, what I was most surprised about is actually, again, Oddleaf, how much she could do against this opponent as well. Because she's actually the one that defeated him. And not Thomas. Because I expect, you guys are gonna just finish off the fodder, which wasn't fodder at all, but especially not with the guys with 4 attacks. And
actually, Oddleaf was kind of tanking.
Yeah.
Like I want Goodheart to tank.
With CC and shield.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It really felt like Bowen. Yeah, because we had one of the weakest characters hit point wise tank a large impressive creature.
Yeah.
With the spell shield, which is such an awesome and good spell because it lasts the entire round and you can cast it as a reaction.
Yeah. And it is even an abjuration spell. So for Bowen,
you get some extra temporary hit points from it.
Yeah.
But so
I thought that was really cool, and then we shifted when we defeated the disciple. I mean, of course, we had to shift in the combat as well when we suddenly were between planets. That's another thing.
He was. I mean, you were not. It was maybe more of a vision that he showed you of his reality.
Yeah.
That's what that's what he said.
Could be.
At least.
Who knows?
Saw corrupted planets and stuff that on this. You suddenly were on a cosmic scale, and
Liked it. Yeah. I have no idea what that was. I could start guessing, of course, but I tend to not guess too much. Which is my wanting to be a player thing.
Who knows? He
Who
said
knows?
sitting next to the person who knows. Yeah, I do actually know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
but
knows?
yeah.
He knows. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna tell you.
And then we shifted back
To reality.
to reality. You Stucco's gravity.
No singing.
Okay.
It's see, this is how I have to keep him in check. But yeah, so and that's
Why no
where he
singing,
stopped,
though?
right?
I love singing.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of cringy on stream. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Okay, that's not. He says it's not, so it's probably not
Yeah.
right. It's, but don't believe anything you say see on the internet. So
Yeah, why no singing, says Shanks. Yeah, there you go.
he says signing though, but that's okay.
Yeah, why no signing?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't sign. That's-
Wait, let me make a sign.
no,
Okay.
it's fine.
I know what you mean, Shanks.
No, yeah,
I feel you.
we do.
Jasper's
Jasper's karaoke. I would watch that. True, with sound off, but I would watch it.
New stream idea. Yeah, okay. There we go. But then we shifted back to the
Yeah.
to reality. I
Yeah.
love that moment.
Yeah, me
I
too.
was really sad as well. Yeah.
Yeah, sad because you had to leave a character behind.
Yeah.
But also, you didn't have to deal with all the complicated choices and drama that because it happened.
Yeah.
Like Darkheart had no choice in the matter.
But he's crying somewhere.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Yeah. He's crying hard. Yeah. I really feel very sorry for Dark.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling we'll see him again at some point.
Might be.
If you don't die
when
before
we
then.
started this adventure, I said to Roger, if he never pops up, that's okay as well.
Yeah, and
But
now
then they
you've played
started
it
to give
more.
me caffeine. Then, that ended that
Well,
streak.
I always knew that he would show up as soon as you transition between the world and the dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this whole dream arc was a lot longer than I initially anticipated. But so is everything else. So 3 sessions before they reach Brentwick was what I thought in the first session.
Yeah. So now we're going into session 28.
Yep.
Yeah. Can we now confirm that the Escape from Serenport Manor one-shot is not canon?
No, you can't.
We cannot confirm
And I
that.
cannot explain you why. Well, I can, but I won't.
Because the man who's sitting next to me knows.
Well, timey-wimey is maybe.
Who knows? Who knows? He knows. Anyway, the guy with the nose knows.
I do.
But I have a nose as well. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Yeah, who knows? No, he knows.
I do.
Okay. Yeah, but let's leave it there for the Precipice of Dreams.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I really like talking about it.
Yeah, I like it as well. I
blame the wizards. Me too.
Yeah, just blame them. Which wizards?
All of them.
Oh yeah, true.
Bo and Goodhart is the only one
Yeah.
I know. But
So finally, we can get to our main topic.
ooh,
Yeah, I think we're this the latest
roll.
we've ever run with the Precipice of Dreams. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's a real difference between the world and the dreams.
Who knows?
Ooh.
I do.
What is your longest running campaign ever, and how did it get there? I like the way how I said, "How did it get there?"
How? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but
No, that's the funny thing about these questions.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
So, I think we had like 114 answers again.
114.
Yeah.
Wow. With this question?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
which
cool.
I didn't expect.
I mean, favorite class I can understand, but yeah, cool.
So let's go into the first answers immediately, because then you understand hours played, PC level, number of sessions, or real time that it took? Was said by David.
Did you reply yes?
Now I'm going to do that on stream.
Okay, then yes.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do that on stream. Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, wrong sheet. There's my character sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, no. There we go. Now I can't read it. Okay, that's what David said. And the funny thing is that when I posted this, I said, oh, how many of these kinds of remarks will I get? Do you know how many?
What?
1, yeah. So that's pretty strange as well. The other thing that happened, of course, is that there were a lot of people who didn't explain anything, which also always happens.
Well, but that's half of what we do here at Talking Void, right? Try to understand the answers you actually get.
Which is cool. Yeah. So
because if you don't get the answer, you might not have understood the question.
Yeah,
like
indeed.
42.
Yeah. Ariane says 4.54 billion years. Next session will likely be a TPK. So that was the other kind of special answer that was in there.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's not hours played or real time, but
yeah. Oh man, that green screen effect is amazing. Looks like you two are practically in the same room.
Yeah. I'm edited in. I'm pre-recorded actually, so.
You know, I can go right through his head.
Yeah, hardly even feel it.
He might be referring to Earth. Yeah, who knows how old Earth is, right? Might be 4.5 to the 54. But yeah, that's a long-running campaign. Yeah.
Isn't the TPK always just around the corner, though? I mean, next session is probably gonna... I can say that as well. I mean, next session is probably gonna be a talk RP session, but might lead to a TPK. Who knows?
I'm so into fighting.
Yeah, I know. You're a pretty aggressive man.
Yeah.
Also, hi, careful, Cantrip.
Yeah, welcome to the stream, careful, Cantrip. Yeah, so...
but that sounds like that's exactly the age of our little solar system that we live in. But, yeah.
TPK. So does this mean that we might be heading towards the sun tomorrow?
We always just miss it, right? It's,
yeah. I like to think that the sun comes out of the sea. I can't say this serious. He's walking away from the green screen, people. Anyway. Well, the ocean was on fire recently. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't cool. Sorry, it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool at all.
No, it wasn't cool at all.
But it was cool in an apocalyptic kind of sense.
Did you see that meme, though?
No?
Of the two guys sitting on the bench. And I saw the ocean was on fire. Yeah. And not even a single kaiju rose from it.
Oh, that would have been devastating as well.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the Jaegers.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Who knows?
But we would have made Jaegers if we had done that. Yeah.
Anyway.
So, TPK. Yeah, I understand. It's a funny answer. Right?
Yeah.
So the answer in the first part of this answer, which is the answer from the first person, which is David, is yes, and then the second one is cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Ashley says it was. I had to discuss it in class.
Yeah, it's about the fire.
Yeah, the fire. Yeah. TPK theme song. We were here. We were here. Greatest show on earth. Oh my God! Top Down Tabletop and Careful Cantrip. How are things in Canada with all of the fires?
Yeah, so that's
another thing then.
Yeah, they're from Canada. Yeah, or some of them are.
Because it's like 47 degrees in the
50 Celsius.
50 degrees Celsius. That's just
insane.
But Shanks installed airco recently.
So it's 49 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
BC is on fire, but it's like the opposite end of the country. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Keep those fans running.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm serious though, in the kind of I'm always being a bit sarcastic, but
Yeah,
of
okay,
course
yeah, but
I understand that these are
these
things that
are
are
way too heavy topics for this show.
it's not getting me down, but it's getting me to a weird place.
Yeah,
Yeah. So when people will see this in like 10 years on a YouTube server that is still running, they're going to say, well, at least they could laugh about the apocalypse.
okay, yeah.
Let's get to the second slide. Derek says, been running an ongoing Greyhawk campaign for 38 years and approximately the same in game time. Over 100 characters and maybe 20 or so players. Highest level character is 23. That's one. And Rory says, I've got a 1A game.
First edition.
First edition game. Yeah. I don't know why I said that. I know what it meant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I got stuck for some reason.
Yeah.
I've been running with one player for 30 years. So these are kind of... I thought...
Wait, that's a one-on-one game then?
I asked her that, but I didn't get the answer right away.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. So maybe you can answer that here or on
a one-on-one game for 30 years would be insane. Stuff you could get done in that amount of time. It's unparalleled.
Yeah, maybe you describe getting a sandwich really
yeah, okay,
into detail.
I mean, the speed at what one-on-one campaigns run, it's...
Whoa, that's not good.
No one saw that. It's okay.
No one saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 30 years, wow.
38 years for the other one.
Yeah, 38. Yeah, it's too small on the screen. I can't read it anymore.
No, have to.
That's also insane. I thought mine was long.
Yours is kind of short then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still going though. And 30 years ago, I was 9 and ill-equipped to DM a bunch of idiots. I mean,
well, you might have been well equipped to DM a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, but I didn't know the game.
He's talking about his equipment again. Just saying. Anyway, well, Jasper, I can't believe you remembered that. That's about his Erco. Yeah, I remember everything. That's why I don't write my non-player characters down. They're all in my head. Yeah, but to a Dutch person, that's the end of the street. Yeah, that's like a 3-day drive from here if you never stopped. Yeah, the west of the country. Yeah, we are such a small country. You can't compare it to Canada. Isn't that a marriage? I never understand how someone can run a game that long. How do you keep it interesting after 30 years? The same way you keep it interesting after a year.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, distances in Europe is so different. Well, that's about the fire. I'm going to skip over the fire bits a bit now.
Yeah.
Not because I'm not interested, but maybe 30 years is the same in the same world, but the same campaign. Yeah, well, that's what was said here. It's like 100 characters. Yeah,
it's not really the same campaign though.
Yeah, so but here comes the definition of campaigns.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, because I did something similar. My longest game ran for 25 odd years, 34. When did we stop? When was the last?
Wait, because we ended it in. Well, do you with the 5-year hiatus in between you ending doing the final?
So the 5-year hiatus?
Yeah, I think so.
No, that took me 3 years. Maybe.
No, I think 5 years.
Yeah, because I had to write the ending.
Yeah, you had to write the ending. So do you
somebody
count that?
had kids and stuff like that. I shouldn't know, right? But that's one. No, but it's still going actually.
Yeah, because it's still going. So that's the other thing. But it's like 3 parties in the same campaign.
Yeah,
an ongoing story.
But the what I count as the whole legacy of time is the very start when we were 14 and I had my first Dungeon Master's Guide in my hands, and up until we rolled the last dice against in the final combat.
Yeah,
because that's when it ended, and I think that was like 20 plus years, and that was mostly with the same characters, with a cast of people moving in and out, not everyone staying on, but the story, it was just one story, and
Yeah, so
I
it's
think
a
that
story
that
campaign.
makes. Um, I don't know
Because
because it had 3 parts in the story as well.
yeah, but how far do you want to? Because now I've been thinking, how long has my campaign been running? Has it then been running for the same amount of time?
What do you mean?
Because of the last 9 years, I've been playing in Dark Earth again,
Oh, like
and
that.
they're like and there's similarities. It picks up
Yeah,
stuff
but
from
it's
that
with a
previous campaign.
completely different group of people. This was
Well,
just people
not anymore.
migrating in and out. Yeah, okay, now they're all back, but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, but you started that as a new campaign,
yeah. So
and it was never my intention to start it, but yeah, real life happened for people, and some people got jobs and needed to get up at 6 o'clock and couldn't D&D until 1 a.m. Anymore.
yeah,
So they quit and were replaced with other people.
yeah,
But there were some people that were there at the very start and at the very end.
yeah,
And the group grew over time, but yeah.
yeah. So Careful Cantrip says, okay, world I get. I don't think I'll ever move off from Bastia, homebrew world. But to have a single story run for 30 years, how do you combat player fatigue? Well, first off, what the what were we called? The Chosen, the Chosen
The
and
Chosen.
the Reavers.
Yeah.
How long did we play the Reavers?
The Reaver started around the time when the second part ended for you guys. So the Reavers...
No, let's talk about the Chosen then. So the Chosen started in what year? It's in the 90s, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And we went on to...
Because I was on this school trip, and I was telling this classmate everything I was gonna do. And I remember telling him I was gonna blow up the whole world.
Yeah.
And that was when I was 15 or 16.
Okay. 15 or 16.
Was Wheel of Time epic? Oh, yeah, I never read
97.
Wheel of Time, sorry.
Uh,
So that was around 96?
96?
No, that was 99. I'm quite sure it was 99 when I told him that story. But we were already playing for a while back then.
Yeah, so...
Because
like
that was the
97.
conclusion of
and
the...
then we played actively till about, I think, 2011.
Yeah, like
And then we had
every
the-
week.
Yeah. And then, so that's like 14 years. So there we played the same characters for 14 years.
With the same story.
What did you do?
What?
No, they're just bots. Okay.
Yeah, those were fine. It's
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Hello, Aberforge.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome to the stream. Bit of a disjointed chat right now, but welcome to the stream. We are talking about the main topic, which is what is your longest running campaign ever, and how did you get there?
Oh, he deleted his own thing. No. Well, I mean, Wheel of Time epic in the sense it's a large-scale story. It starts with local problems. Yeah, because that's what I did, essentially. Because I upped the stakes every time. It started really small, and it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, I mean, it ended with you guys fighting the gods themselves. Even though they were not really gods, but still. That was the scope or where it ended. And even in the... end cinematic, so to say, you got a taste of an even greater threat than them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way I kept my players engaged for that long was mostly through like plot twists and mysteries.
Okay. I'm going to react to Aberforge for now.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, Aberforge. But then you have a different name on there. So what answer should I be looking for? what was your name? Because then I can tell you.
I don't think we're running really late, so we probably haven't been there yet.
Jake's.
No,
you haven't been on yet. So thanks for joining, and you haven't been on yet, so we'll be enjoying your story later on.
Yeah, I wish I could say soon, but
we're
kind of long-winded today.
It's a very long show. Yeah, we're long-winded.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Because we really like to get into stuff, and shall I do the anecdote? When I first started the show, I thought it was going to be like half an hour, and I had all these things prepared to make, and I thought, man, I'm going to go 5 minutes with this, and then the first show went over an hour, I think.
Yeah, an hour and a half.
And by now it's going over 2 hours. We have exceeded episode 2.5 hour mark. So yeah, you're here for the ride, as long as folk are having fun. Yeah, I think we are having fun.
I'm having fun.
Yeah. We are having fun.
we like talking about D&D. I mean, if there's not a camera pointing at us, we would probably be talking about the same thing, only in Dutch.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and this actually is a show where we that's exactly what it is for, to give other people the experience of talking about D&D between sessions when they cannot.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have this our own adventure that we discuss, which has already passed. And now we just started this. What is your longest running campaign?
The community
the
answers,
main topic.
but somehow I took it over and told my own story for a bit.
Yeah. So what you were saying is that even when that ended, there was a greater threat that was introduced in a way.
Yeah.
Battle of the Gods, etc. But we played those characters for 14 years, and I think that's an important answer to the question from Careful Cantrip, that we enjoyed those characters because they evolved. That's the thing. Played the long games, even as characters between characters. We played the long game.
Yeah.
And there was surprising each other with things we did at certain points in the adventure. I had the greatest moment of the whole campaign. So
there was even a moment, and you say that now, but the one of my players in one of the, I think it was the penultimate session we had, he brought something up that was a promise that was made like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. It was... I mean, I can't convey the emotion that went into that and the impact it had on the player that was on the receiving side, but it was just awesome. And having that build up and that time in between made it even better.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, my best moment was when I actually dissed on the grandchild of the person that I disliked.
I'm not even sure what you're referring to.
But, right.
Yeah, I know who you're referring to, because...
I'm the real wolf.
Ah, okay.
This is what a wolf does.
Yeah,
sacrifice, you know?
Yeah,
which was, of course, played by Michel.
Otherwise, he wouldn't,
but it was Strife as well. But anyway, it was complicated at that point. Yeah. Have you talked enough about this?
Sure.
Did you talk enough about your... campaign?
Maybe I'll just...
I don't think we made a definition of what a campaign is yet.
I think when you say 14 years, it feels short, though.
14 years feel... Yeah. Well, there you go. Yes, because as we have established earlier, Jasper hates me and my character. Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
But hate is a strange kind of love.
Exactly.
No, it isn't.
There's a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah?
Yeah, apparently. I've never seen it.
What is the color of the line?
I think it was blue or a bit purplish.
There you go. So, Brandon says, 4 years, started out as a one-shot. I thought that one was funny.
Yeah. I so agree with that guy. One-shots don't exist. It's like a strange mythical creature that's impossible to attain.
And Brian says, I ran an Out of the Abyss game that lasted about 2 years, if I remember correctly. It almost fell apart a few times, but I'm glad we stuck it out to the end. It's still one of the only online TTRPG groups I've stayed in contact after we stopped playing.
Yeah. Well, wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so both these answers are interesting, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, first off, 4 years started out as a one-shot. I can very much relate to that. Because the Precipice of Dreams, the idea for the Precipice of Dreams started out as a one-shot.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, well, what would I do if I could play like this one weekend marathon of D&D? Then it's Precipice of Dreams.
And those kind of then the Brentwick thing.
Yeah, you haven't even gotten to that part of the adventure yet, and it's changed so much. Yeah. But I remember when we were going to GaryCon, when we were streaming there, I had to prepare a one-shot, and I had this whole thing written up, and then I spent 2 weeks just deleting stuff, and still we ended up with it had to be like a 3-hour session.
Yeah, I think what you did great there was introduce a riddle.
Yeah, that was yeah. Never do a puzzle in a one shot. That's if you only want one session, don't do a puzzle.
Don't do a puzzle. No, just kidding. It was a great one shot. I think that's made for some very comic relief.
Yeah, and, it was It was so much fun. It was great to do, but I still think that in a one shot you can't really get to the real essence of D&D. There's no development. There's no. It's just a game like this, the 5-room dungeon concept. You walk through.
Michel says scraps all the puzzles and clues from the Call of Cthulhu one shot in 2 weeks. Yeah, Michel.
That's smart.
Yeah, I think you thought you were going to do the other thing in like a one session this Monday, but that didn't work. Now you have like 5 players around your table, so. Make your breast wet.
Yeah, that's
a Dutch thing that doesn't translate. I got it prepared. You'll see.
Also, players are stupid, so...
Yeah, and players are stupid. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Even when DMs are players. Yeah. I'm using a clock.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's get one of those.
What is a clock? Oh, it's like a mobile phone. One of the functions on it.
It's like this chronomancy thing.
Yeah, chronomancy. Yeah. So let's go back to the answers.
Yeah.
4 years started out as one shot. That was one thing. And then I was reading over these comments, and there were a lot of things that were saying I did Out of the Abyss or Curse of Strahd or Horde of the Dragon Queen, and that was their campaign experience. And the strange thing is that this gives me that kind of feeling like, no, that's not a campaign or something. Which is not true, but for some reason it triggers something in me. But then I thought I did The Night Below, for like 8 years.
Yeah, and you heard Matt Colville say it played in 1 year. Yeah,
but two of them in 1 year.
What sticks out for me in this one is that, like he says, it almost fell apart a few times. Well, I had that too with players moving in and out because life. And that's just a thing. I mean, there's plenty of memes about how hard it is to get all your players to show up at the table.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually the thing I'm most nervous for before sessions. I mean, with Precipice less so, but with my other campaign...
how many people will show up?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've had this period when it was really special, when everyone was there at the table. It was...
Well, when we were teenagers, we were always there.
Yeah. But, just life happens, and then time is, scarce.
Yeah. Frietje Orlog, Mexicano, let's play.
Yeah, okay, that's enough of the Dutchisms, though, because you don't want to alienate these wonderful people. But
I was like saying French fries with some sauce and a snack.
Another thing he mentioned is that he was playing this campaign online, and we've been playing online for about a year now due to the state of the world, but I miss it so much to play around the table.
Yeah.
This is the first time that I'm sitting here with you on the same camera.
I've played 3 times already around the table.
I did twice last summer. And we're gonna play the 19th, when you guys do the Call of Cthulhu thing. We actually decided to come together again. But, I want it to be a regular thing again. And, he played it online, so he probably met these people online as well. And he still keeps in touch with them. Because
I think that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But what I was most... that's your interest in the story, but what I was thinking was, doing a campaign, like
it's
getting it from a box and then
an adventure. Is that a campaign?
Yeah, it's an adventure or a campaign, and I think it is.
Yeah,
When it
it is
takes some
just
further-
it's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
your
personal
definition,
definition
yeah.
because D&D named like a world named a campaign setting, like a setting where you can run a campaign, and then you had these adventure modules that you could play in a campaign.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, the
idea
night
was-
below turned into a campaign because I kept adding to the world and and stuff. So yeah, it's always, and I think
Well,
Eric has started with Curse of Strahd, and he built a whole world out of it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, definitely.
So
A lot of people did.
yeah,
Yeah, and like what you just said, when I first started the Legacy of Time, it was just this small map of the top half of the continent, and
yeah,
it later became a map of the continent, and that became a map of the world,
Yeah.
and then you even visited other worlds. So the scope grew, and
Would you have still drawn a rectangular map?
I don't think so,
Hmm.
but it fitted more nicely
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
piece of
yeah.
paper.
Yeah,
And I was, like I said, 14 when I started.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever do that again.
no, but then it.
I would
became
go with a
lore,
triangle now.
Yeah,
It's- but yeah, I made it into lore, so it didn't matter in the end.
But nice answers, these
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
I think the first one, because we all recognize it. Well, most of us do. And the second one is because of a lot of things, actually. It triggered me in a positive way.
Yeah.
It made me think about what a campaign is and how I started my...
Well,
Well, I
it's
had
just,
done adventures before that, but, you know.
yeah, I never played an adventure, actually. I mean, I'm a forever DM, but I've been forever DMing the same campaign, so...
Yeah.
But I never used an adventure out of a book or a box or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that's like.
It's fun.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I believe so. But
Yeah. But, and the
I
funny
can
part-
imagine
the
it's
other
less
thing
work.
is-
It's less work. Maybe.
Yeah,
then.
it is less work.
Okay.
But when you start adding and doing your own thing,
Yeah,
the thing is that it's because it's written down, you tend to really focus on that instead of expanding your mind. That's a thing that if I would DM that same adventure again, I would. Well, it's 20 years later, but I would do totally different,
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
and I would draw my own maps over the old maps and start
of course you would.
adding stuff. Yeah. So let's go to the next one. John says, my Dark Sun campaign has lasted about 4 years total. We had a big hiatus. We started 4th edition and now play 5th edition.
Dark
So
Sun.
I included this one, well, for the Dark Sun, because Dark Sun is epic.
Yeah.
But especially because you can run a campaign for 38 years and still be playing first edition Dungeons and Dragons, or you can shift systems.
Yeah, definitely.
There were kind of a lot of them, even Pathfinder, you know. Or,
Well, we did that in your campaign. We went from 3.5 to 5th.
Yeah.
And suddenly my character could do all kinds of different things.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
Yeah, but it was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't have to do the exact same things that my previous character could do in the previous edition, as long as the archetype feels the same.
Yeah.
And
I think that the player who played the monk had some trouble adjusting at first.
yeah,
Yeah.
but even he got used to it. So
Yeah, but there you see what this transition can be. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll get all the puzzles. One will be a connect A to B in the style of a racer car track. Yeah, okay.
they won't be able to solve it.
No. Yeah. What does this piece do?
Yeah, just Google
Can you break it?
just Google puzzles for toddlers, and I guarantee you it will last a 4-hour session.
Yeah. I think Ashley does the same thing in his campaigns.
Yeah. That's smart.
So changing additions between games. So that's one of the things, and the other thing is, of course,
Just sticking with it.
yeah. Well, I meant that when you transition,
Yeah.
you can do it for a certain amount of reasons, because you don't like the old rules, or you like the new rules better, or you do like the old rules, but it's not that inclusive. For example, I think that's the thing with 3.5 edition. It gets so confusing for a lot of players that and then you go to the 5th edition thing, and then you start thinking, wow, this is so much easier to comprehend.
Yeah.
And then, I saw a lot of people shifting from 4th edition to 5th edition as well, who just thought 4th edition wasn't cool. But there's the opposite view as well. But most of those had also played 3rd and 2nd edition then.
Okay. Yeah. So they went along with every edition. Just
but
this
they,
new,
they
so we're gonna
started
play
their
this.
change in 4th edition to 5th edition.
Well, to be fair, usually I don't think it's Wizards themselves, but usually you can find this converter as well. If they come up with a new edition, people just make these character converters.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
Well, they're not automated, but just wall of text.
Yeah.
You've never seen one? Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, there are a lot of them, even from 3.5 to 5th. And
I can imagine. The 4th edition was made to scale with everything. So you had this a program where you could simply say this is a level 1 construct or a level 30, and it would just scale all the stats.
Yeah.
You could do that with a slider, but they never really implemented that.
Oh, okay.
But that's why the rules are so...
I think they have that in 5th as well, but it doesn't work. It's not okay.
No, it's not okay. And that large part because of the strange progression.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still not used to that.
No?
No, the hit points
I got a feel
balance
for it.
through... I got a feeling for it, but I'm not used to it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine enough.
So I think that we've discussed this one enough for now. Then we go to the next one. Albert says 3.5 years, over 180 sessions and more than 540 hours and counting. Characters are all level 15. Only one of the original characters of Warlock has survived to this point. The 6 current players have all been in the group for at least the last 2 years. Players left the group because of family, moved to a different city, new baby, and family commitments. 5 of the players have currently are DM in their own games. At least 4 of those have never played Dungeons & Dragons before joining this campaign. They have played at the local game shop, a rented office, home, and at the height of a pandemic online.
Yeah.
I love this answer.
Yeah.
Talking about scope, 180 sessions, so those are 3-hour sessions over a period of 3.5 years. So about a session every week.
Yeah. That's it's awesome. And again,
level 15.
The shift in players, level 15. Yeah.
Well,
that's also if you're doing long-winded campaigns, then you better slow down the leveling curve because otherwise.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about a bit because of this one. All the other things I think we kind of discussed already in the broader sense, but then leveling up to level 15 was just a normal thing in 2nd edition. I think that you took it slowly. Because
it became harder and harder to level at some point.
That point, so then...
and it didn't matter anymore, because you didn't roll for hit dice anymore, and you didn't get any new exciting abilities.
Except when you were a caster.
Yeah, okay, then you got new spells, but that was the only one. I mean, as a rogue, you just got more points for your skills. You got...
Fighter level 13, 5 attacks in 2 rounds.
That was an additional rule. It was not baked into the base game.
It's in proficiencies.
Yeah, but I think it's not skills and powers, but the other one.
No, it's in the basic book.
Okay,
yeah.
Oh no, that made it 3 in 1, which was way better. 5 and 2 is just weird.
Strange. Yeah. But the scaling matters a lot if you are doing the long campaigns, and we've discussed this as well because I nearly died a couple of years ago, and then I suddenly thought I have to tell more stories, so I have to quicken my pace.
Oh, like that, But leveling is a cool and nice reward in its own, but it's not the crux of the campaign.
No,
I mean, at least for my players, it's not their goal is not reaching level 20. It's finishing the story, and if they happen to be level 20 when they finish the story, then great. But it's not necessary. They can finish story at level 15 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I think Critical Role got some slack for that because they weren't that
Flag.
Flag. Yeah, flag. Sorry,
Yeah.
flag for that. Yeah, because they didn't really get to the highest level and they
So what?
campaign ended, which
Yeah,
was at the right
but
point for them.
same thing. I mean, leveling up is such a weird such a weird thing in stories as well. I mean, it's great that people get new characters and stuff, but of the new abilities in their for the characters.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make that much sense from a real world perspective. There's always character growth, but I mean, if you take a fighter for example, at some point you say, okay, this is a really good swordsman, for example, but you can become he levels up and he's a better swordsman. But if it was a character in the book, then he would have just been a really good swordsman.
Yeah, that's what I love about the what are they called, the David and Lee Eddings books, which are about very powerful characters always.
Yeah,
and it's not about that part of it, of the story. They're really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the same. The inverse goes for encounters, and there's, you could just make a party of goblins. Even if your characters are all level 15, you could make a group of goblins that are also level 15 goblins, and they would be a challenge for that group.
Yeah.
Just like they would. It's just you have more choice, and it's pure, and it's just the gameplay element.
Yeah.
In this case.
Yeah. So welcome, Cast the DM, to the stream. Thanks for joining us again. And DM Shank says, we always try to work in class progression narratively when we can.
Yeah.
It adds to immersion.
Yeah, and I think in fifth there's these real these moments that land for that as well. I did with Oddleaf, I did with Solwing, I even did it with Thomas when they got their level 3 path, so to say, or whatever you want to call it. How do they call it? What's the general term for it? Subclasses?
Subclasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
When
I always call them specializations for some reason.
Yeah, prestige class, subclass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like doing that as well. Like give a reason why they would gain these powers. And
I think he did really well with Solwing when he could ride his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Moment.
It's fun. And
and sometimes it's just logic when we just came back to the normal realm and we were level 5. That felt really cool.
Yeah, well, that's
logical.
And there's a new tier of play. For me as a DM, I look at it in a very bland manner when it comes to class levels. I mean, like the background and the lore of the characters, sure, but for me, it's just there's actually only 5 levels in D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 to 4, 5 to 9, or 5 to 8, 9 to 13, 9 to 12, 13 to 16, and 17 to 20.
Yeah, I agree. I also didn't include that answer, but I saw someone saying we are now in the 2nd tier.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. My Dramor party is now 9th level.
No, it's tier 3.
And they kind of want to level quickly as well. And I'm trying that with that party as well. But I sometimes miss that we don't stay longer on a certain level because you can experience your abilities in a broader sense.
Yeah, but if we go back to Legacy of Time, and especially gonna use the Reavers as an example, so that's the party with Michel. They started out really small, and eventually they were like Aragorn slamming open the door of the throne room and walking in, telling kings to do stuff like this or not like that, and that took so much growth, and that had nothing to do with levels. It was or their character power or anything. Yeah, it's ignore that one.
Ignore that one. Yeah. So totally agree. Yeah.
But still, it's a night. I'm not saying that leveling is bad or anything.
No,
it's
it
fun,
isn't.
And I wish there was more spread in between. I've actually thought about hacking up classes, and just letting, giving out more rewards, but in a smaller portion, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we talked about that as well. Yeah,
and letting the players choose what they wanted first. Do you want to increase your proficiency bonus, or do you want your new spell slot or stuff like that? But I went away from that idea because I couldn't make it work. But
yeah, it's complicated. You did do the partial feats, right?
in my campaign, I split up the feats, but they still gain them in the same progression.
Okay, but then you can choose a whole feat or half a feat and then do.
Yeah, I wanted to get rid of those +1 ability score thingies.
Yeah.
So that they could take a feat for the feat and not because.
Yeah. So did we talk about this?
Yeah, I can't remember the question.
Yeah.
But this, even though it's 3.5 years, this is a very familiar story.
Yeah, and I think I would only hope that I could ever play that much again.
But like 3.5 years?
No, like that many sessions.
But we're playing every week. At least some.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you still.
We are doing this.
Yeah.
We're living the life.
Yeah, I know, right?
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, this is what we do. Only we don't do it in one campaign. We split our efforts over multiple
campaigns. Yeah, but what I'm teaching myself is doing the faster level progressions, making shorter stories.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's just a character flaw.
Yeah, it really enriches things. That Casta DM says I never did that much in my games, but I'm hoping to do that more, especially when hitting subclasses. So that's about introducing the abilities through story mode and everything. Shank's replies to that. Both of you awesome dudes. That's us.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah. But you don't feel pressure to do it as well. I mean. Your players are as much responsible for that as yourself. Like delving into the lore of the subclasses.
/S.
What? No.
No, he's being real.
Yeah.
/R.
No.
Is that a thing?
No.
DM says, my first game's been going for 3 years, but only because it's been a hiatus for 2 years, because everyone lives in different parts of the country, not even the pandemic. Yeah, so, yeah.
That
sucks.
That's the beam.
Yeah. Start another campaign.
Yeah, but with people, your neighbors or something, like people you see now.
Or if you are
just
at that point of having children, just give them dice and let them roll them, even if they are just toddlers. Make up a story about it.
No, don't do that. That's dangerous.
Big dice, like this. Okay, let's go to the next one. I hope you're getting to Jake by now. No, it's Brian. Brian, I ran a homebrew for over a year. I created a timeline of events that happened along, I think, a main path of the story and offshoots to keep it flexible for players to do what they wanted. But I made the side stuff joined to the main story plot, and if they did something different from the main story, then the events occurred without the group, but in a way that played to the main story, such as if they didn't quest for an item or have this battle TG. Outcome would be different. Outcome would be different than if they. I always copy these from the Facebook.
I know.
Because I want to be do them justice. Then if they did, and time would pass, and the game would shift in a different direction until the players went back to the story plot, and then the events unfold in the usual manner.
I'm somewhat doing something like this in the Herald of Gold at the moment. So it's like Legacy time.
Yeah.
So I have this main storyline of stuff that's it's a sci-fi campaign and stuff that's happening in the universe, and that stuff is just happening, and the players are there to change it.
Bye, careful cantrip.
Oh, see ya. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no rush. Okay, we'll be having no rush. Thanks for visiting. Everybody's saying goodbye to Careful Cantrip. Friends across the pond. Just like top down tabletop. Man, stumbling
Anyway,
across
the answer.
you did something like that. You maintain, and we discussed this a lot because I like the idea of persistent universe, and then if they do not connect with it, then stuff happens. But if they connect with it, then other stuff happens.
Yeah,
and it's still the same feeling for the players because
that's the way it happens. Because
that's the way
all stories are linear.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I did with the earlier version of the Legacy of Time, the campaign you played in. I actually wrote a story that went wrong. The story didn't happen, but was supposed to happen, and you guys went along the path that was new, and so I had a main story path there that was just there for
not
it's exposition, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
okay. We have to. I think we have to speed it up a bit.
Oh,
but the
yeah.
other thing is that what I wanted to say. This is what I'm doing in Dremor in a way as well, because there's this main thing developing, and that just continues. Although I must admit that my agenda isn't that concrete.
No, mine isn't. I don't know. It's like I said. Even the War of Tears changed.
Well, I remember you in the Herald putting a date and putting something there.
But that was cool. But the players lived up to that date as well. That they
yeah, that's cool.
And then it happened.
And then it happened. Yeah.
Ooh.
No. Sanjay says the current camp. Oh man,
that's what I mean. It's time for the big screen.
Sorry, let's go there.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have those as well. Both and none. They're called both and none. Sanjay says the current campaign IDM I took over as a dungeon master in 2011. We do 3 to 4 sessions a year, but we'll try to increase right now via Roll20 and get together when we can. I was a player before. Game started at level 1 in second edition back in 1994 in high school, playing first day after school in the D&D club. We started with a teacher and then holidays going to teacher house where his sons joined us and played as well. When we graduated, we did 3 times a year at his house. Sadly, due to schedules, it got harder to organize. After a 2 years break, my friends asked me to take over, as I had another free third edition game.
Third. Because 3.0, 3.5.
And game going, I preferred one system, so I took over as a dungeon master. My car went to a friend to use in addition to his character. We converted to third edition Pathfinder first edition, level 12 at the time. Now, as of last session in May, they are 29-30 with 6 mythic ranks from PF Mythic Adventures rulebook. Back around 1998, or something happened which triggered the adventure our teacher used for us for the early 2000s and set the final boss. Okay, so I analyzed this. He's saying that then he started converting back to the original adventure that he was...
he took parts from the adventure and used it in the...
But because this is an interesting part, they want to kill the god, but in 3rd edition, gods have actual real god rules. Alter reality, etc. Kill anything with a fault, etc. So they needed to be divine to do it. So I designed the system to reach divine ranks, etc. Need to reach mythic rank 10, then we can qualify to get divine ranks. Also added some more story, etc. beyond roll. That will really be something. Gonna be crazy. It's already nuts, the stuff that has happened, that I had to add to expand on from the first parts of Queen of the Demon Web against the Giants to where they are now. Tons of pre-made and custom adventure content, new rules, system, etc. So it's a kind of a complicated answer, but I get a sense of depth. And what I think is really funny is 3 or 4 sessions a year, running from 1994 up till now.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
First of all, because the time invested, so that's the 27 years. But second of all, only 4 sessions in a year, I would die. I would be able to survive. That's
And then this is where, and I also thought this is where 3rd edition shines. With good rules for God level
Well,
play.
especially Pathfinder in this case.
No, that's the mythic part, but the god rules are in the
And third,
deities and demigod book and stuff.
I never got into those. That's,
Yeah, they are good with the divine ranks. Those
Yeah,
are some
yeah.
cool rules. Deadly as something I will not.
Fudge.
Yeah, fudge. Deadly as fudge. Yeah.
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 Well, it's just very cool, and even having a after-school D&D club is cool.
Yeah, I would have
I mean,
liked it. If I ever
I couldn't-
become a teacher, I will be a DM as well, to part of the class.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure you can do that in this day and age.
Yeah, you can.
What, invite students over to your home in high school? I'm not sure how parents will react to that. A lot has changed since 1994.
Well, you can talk about it.
Yeah, okay, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Can be open and transparent about what's happening.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, but yeah, times have changed. But I think there's a lot, especially in the USA. I think I read a lot of comments that talk about these kinds of things even now. Yeah, a lot of groups, including teachers and after-school activities and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
now, but in 1994, I can't imagine it being that prevalent.
No,
Was it?
probably not,
But-
because that's after the satanic
I mean, it
panic.
was then
Yeah.
delved deeply into nerd culture, and
Yeah, it got a bad rap, but at the same time
definitely not a bad rap, but
as well in America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with the religion and stuff.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, this is kind of cool. I mean, the fact
Yeah,
that they
it's
can
really
go
cool.
on for that long, it's
yeah,
something to aspire to. But still, only 4 sessions a year. It's not enough.
no.
Need more.
I like the scope what this does, though. There are 2 scopes here. It's the long period of time with only 3 to 4 sessions. Then at the same time, it's kind of a quick progression through levels and divine ranks and mythic levels.
Well,
and all
but
that
that's
kind of stuff.
but here it's a goal in itself to
Yeah.
attain those levels.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I imagine they don't go grinding out into the forest, just hacking up goblins to mass XP.
No,
but
I don't think so either.
I
And the dungeon master is certainly a happy person for being able to expand on this universe that they've
Yeah,
created together. So that's cool as well.
I'm correct in understanding that he took over. Like it was his teacher's world, and he took
Yeah.
over that world and got parts of the original story from his teacher and used them
so
right
as
back.
I
That's cool,
understood that it had been, I think that part happened in kind of the 90s, and they had a throwback to that point again in 2011, where they restarted the Demon Web pits, which is indeed
Yeah,
a
but that
very
would have
big
been awesome
module.
for the players as well if they still. I mean, even though in-game time usually passes slower, less time skips, but those throwbacks are just awesome. And I mentioned it before with one of my characters throwing back to something that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
I like that.
So is that going to happen in the Precipice?
Maybe, I don't know. We're just
Well, you do
a
know.
year in. I don't know. No, I don't.
Oh,
This is
okay.
something I don't know. I can't know.
Okay.
That thing, and that's why what I mentioned before is the promise was made between characters. As a DM, I had nothing to say about that.
No,
It just happened, and it was something that they put into the game and they put into the story, and it got resolved in a beautiful manner. And as a DM, I could only just sit and watch, and it was awesome.
That's nice. Okay, let's go to the next one. Jim, not Jake.
It's still not Jake.
Yeah. Jim says, longest I was in went over a decade, back in the AD&D 2nd edition days. Really, it was a bunch of overlapping campaigns in the same world that interacted with each other and sometimes had characters switch between them. The longest I ran was 7 years long. It was a D&D 3.5 and a follow-up campaign 80 years later in my homebrew Erenta's setting. The original campaign was 4 years, starting when D&D 3.0 was first coming out. Not all 3 of the core books were out when we had our session 0, that it was before that term for it was really in use. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't think we ever called it session 0.
No, yeah.
But I burned out running that one, and when the characters did something that basically jumped them from early in the last act to the unveiling of the big bad, I just went with it. I wish I had it in me to do those unveils in a more controlled manner.
Yeah.
The campaign I ran after that was about 4.5 years, and I now aim for less than 4 years for a campaign. I'm currently running 2, one of which recently finished its first year, and one which started before that but was quite irregular at the start, so hasn't had as many sessions. So there's the big story that's happening here. It's a continuing campaign in a way, which we've discussed already. But I really loved the part where it says, "But I burned out."
Yeah.
And I skipped stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever burn out as a dungeon master?
I have never burned out in that sense of the word. No.
I have. I think you have experienced those periods where I was too. I did continue being a dungeon master, but was
just going through the motions.
Yeah, and a bit angry at sometimes.
Yeah, okay. But no,
and I didn't have the feeling at the table anymore. Didn't feel like a connection.
Yeah, okay, but that was more like personal stuff that was going on, though. Was it because of D&D and what was happening in the campaign?
It was all kinds of manners. I've had these periods where I thought this isn't a social game at all. We're sitting around the table, but we don't know each other anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Then I have had this, I don't know what to come up with for the next session. That's the other way of burnout, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that I made a great decision to end or put my 2 campaigns on hiatus when we started this thing, because I was really starting to develop encounters while playing. And even though the players still had a lot of fun, it put a lot of stress on me, and that wasn't really much fun for me anymore. So there have been a couple of times, and of course I was running 3 games.
Yeah, but I know that 3 persistent campaigns, long-running persistent campaigns, and that's but we talked about that before. That's just too much. I mean, I run 2 now, and one of which I'm. Legacy of Time I'm so intimately familiar with that I can just wing everything I do.
Yeah,
I am not quite there with Precipice, but it's still a lot of work. And the problem I run into most with preparing for sessions is that when I finish one of the games, I actually have to prepare the other one for next week. But that's when I'm hyped most about that campaign. So the day after Precipice, I want to work on Precipice stuff, and I lack the inspiration for Herald stuff, and vice versa. So today I actually had to bring myself to do Precipice stuff instead of the stuff I actually wanted to do, and that's the thing I'm.
Yeah, it got harder for me as well, especially because my job is very busy.
Yeah.
So then my mind was too full.
Yeah.
Casta DM says, what is a gym if not a Jake? I love that answer. And then he says, I burned out on my second game. They had caught up to my notes, having prepped the world, and it just got hard to push through. But I pushed through till I had a really good session that brought me out. Yeah, that's
and Shanks is leaving.
Shanks, that's great. Great hanging out. See
have a nice meal, Shanks.
Have a nice meal. Yeah, always have to eat during our shows, which is logical if you're across the pond.
Yeah. Dinner.
Yeah.
Lunch. Whatever.
Yeah. I had those moments as well, where a single thing could pull me back in.
Yeah.
Or the other things in my life changed.
I mean, to be fair, having someone like Jin in your campaign really helps. Because that guy is just so enthusiastic. I mean, he just tells you what he likes and feels about the session, and he can do that.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, and I think we've discussed this as well. I think that the party that you are in is sometimes a bit hard to read for me.
Our group, but we had some change. We had some changes there as well, and there was some inner struggles
as well
going on there, and but that was more on a personal level and something you couldn't be blamed for, neither could I, or Yeah.
And then the other party is that they kept leaving the table
Yeah, for smoke breaks.
for smoke breaks and stuff, because I don't want to be in a smoky environment.
Yeah.
And then that really disrupted my game, while they still had a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got
Yeah.
I sucked. Yeah, and sure, that's annoying as well. I'm experiencing the same right now when I play the Herald sessions. I need to take the breaks because I'm in my own living room,
Yeah.
and all the others are also at home, but they can do just what they want there. Now, not all of them can, but they pick up their phone and use that for Discord. But I have the whole setup on the screen, and
Yeah.
so I kind of need that. I can't just go on Discord on my phone and
Yeah.
be a dot somewhere.
Casta DM says, burnt out stuff. Art burnout's my biggest worry, and you never know when it comes.
But
Yeah.
do you mean actually burnout? Like you don't
Nah.
feel like it anymore, or is it like writer's block? Like you feel like you wanna put something on paper and can't.
But I think it's the first one. Although I think it's a bit different than when you're on burnout from your job, for example, and you're just sitting at home. It's another
It's both,
type.
yeah.
But it's writer's block. I also get that sometimes, but that doesn't worry me that much, because then I just wing a session and then I have the rest of my story again. But really not feeling like it anymore. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I do have writer block sometimes,
Yeah.
and even session prep. I mean, I couldn't do session prep on camera. That would be insane, because
What I'm doing.
Yeah, I just walk through my living room back and forth. That's my session prep. That's what I'm doing. And then I think, and then I type something on the keyboard, and then I go walking again.
Yeah.
That's my process. That's
Yeah.
so same thing in front of the camera, being forced to put things on paper. No, that's not my.
I still have to
I
find
could
the
learn
balance as
though,
well.
but yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
Yeah. Now. Nee, Caleb, almost 2 years or 2 years now, don't recall exactly, in the running with weekly games. Those single week breaks now and then. The campaign is my first one, so it has evolved immensely. My players call the different major arcs seasons, and we have gone through 2 of them. Each arc could be its own small campaign. I still have at least 4 planned, and we just started the one where they are going into the Underdark, where Gothic horror is the theme. Prior themes were heroic revolution, and the one before that was a high fantasy slice of life. They were attending college. Next one will be low fantasy adventure. Think the Witcher series, complete with unintelligent commoners, monster slaying and politics, and I have plans for high seas adventure. So although it has been one long campaign, I have tried to keep it interesting, and it's more akin to a series where the same adventurers, which some roster changes if my players choose to change who they main, go through several stories than just one long one. I accomplished this because the long one's arc relies on finding these relics scattered all over the world. So every season is the campaign to get a particular
relic.
They only have 2. There are 8, but the other ones will be quicker now that I have a better handle on pacing and such. A lot of interesting things happening here.
Yeah, there's multiple times where I wanted to chime in.
Okay, go. Do your thing.
First of all, this is great. Just changing the setting and changing the theme, and that's so much fun. I myself run a sci-fi campaign where I can come up with all these weird worlds and settings and change it every time around, and that's they're currently on an ancient space station that predates even human civilization. And they're discovering all these weird stuff. There's this room on the station that's completely over. They don't know that yet. I can't say that too much. Sorry, but it turned out in some. It's almost like a dungeon crawl where they're looting all the stuff and just exploring and seeing what's going on. And that's really different from epic wars or the diplomacy missions. And even they did a heist at some point, and that way I can move through all these different teams, and that's so much fun.
Yeah.
Can you bring up the answer or put a turn off studio mode maybe? I don't know.
That's...
And yeah, that's. I mean, what I do, and what I'm not. Yeah, there is an overarching theme here. Like they follow a main storyline, even though they go through all these phases, and that's awesome. But I think you put yourself on rails here too much. Like you say, there are 8, they have 2, so there's only 6 to go. And I'm not sure is that necessary.
Well, you could make an adventure where they suddenly find 3, or,
exactly.
or an enemy has gathered 2 and you find the enemy.
Yeah, or they get stolen and stuff like that. That's.
But what I liked about that is that he's or she is discussing the thing where, but the other ones will be quicker now that they have a better handle on pacing and such.
Yeah. Even that's not important. I think that's pacing with these kind of quests. Yeah.
But I think it's more like broader sense that you understand that when you do a journey, for example, and you don't have to exploit every single nook and cranny.
Like that.
And then, like getting the in-between time out of the way, making more use of the central theme instead of all the side rooms. Although I love side rooms, but we aren't exploring that much side rooms anymore. Yeah.
No.
In general sense.
Yeah. That's.
But
that's more like 80s D&D. That's secret rooms and.
Yeah. I had this.
You did that a couple of times in the adventure I played in with you. There were these side rooms and with traps and stuff.
Still went straight to the end.
Yeah, because that was our objective. We could, we weren't there for exploration or money or anything. We needed to get the objective done, and we did.
Yeah, and I had this. I at one moment had this whole jail mapped out with sewers and streams below and all kinds of caverns attached to it and everything. Then they went left, found the secret door, and walked to the end.
Hey, you did that to yourself. Yeah, you did that to yourself.
But they skipped so many magic items.
Yeah, but that's always what you said to us as well.
Yeah.
You missed so much. Yeah, but no, we didn't, because we didn't go there, so there was nothing to miss.
One of the players actually didn't meet his dead father.
Yeah, there's actually something that he didn't meet his. Okay, that's a shame though.
Yeah, that's a shame.
My players are currently in the process of doing something not similar to that, but missing stuff. And I'll tell you afterwards, because if they watch this, then the Marineas might be in chat. So,
we never know about Marineas, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, still, it sounds like a great deal of fun, this one. It's I like the switching around teams and just exploring and having fun and taking a look from different at different teams and letting your players experience these different things.
And this Dungeon Master is enthusiastic again. So we talked about burnout in the last one, and this is all kinds of inspiration for what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and it reinvigorates your interest. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
So there are 2 more answers. So one of them has to be Jake's.
Yeah, I hope so, because otherwise he stuck around for nothing.
Then I have to search the answer again, because I can't. I always do this the right way.
Okay, here we go.
It would be the first, but I'm getting a bit scared though.
Yeah, me too.
Jake!
Yeah, there he
yes! Currently playing in a 5th edition campaign that has been running for 2 years this coming Saturday, and we're now gearing up for the final boss fight. There are games that have gone on longer, but none of them have ever come this close to actually finishing. And that's the thing I found interesting about this thing, you know?
Yeah.
The ending.
Yeah, but that's so scary though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like he's a player and not
Aberforge. Here you are.
Yeah, there you are. Are you the player or the DM in this game? Because I do want to talk about endings a bit.
We can do the switchroom.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're big now. Hello.
Ooh, we're big.
Oh, here
I am.
He's the
I'm
player.
a player.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we on our own show we had something similar. We had the big fight previous session actually that concluded an
An
ongoing
arc.
arc.
Yeah.
And for me as a DM, those moments are actually scary. Like I was really nervous, and I'm not generally nervous before I start DMing. But for this I was, because it was an ending, and always these endings and have to pay off in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
They have to
what you mean.
feel satisfying to the players. They have to feel epic in my case, because that's the way I want to DM.
Yeah.
And
The players have to understand what has happened.
yeah,
Transpired.
what transpired, to grasp the scope of things, even though it goes beyond them, like what happened with you guys. But it and the if it's an encounter where you end with, then even that has to bring something special to the table.
Yeah.
For me, at least,
Yeah, I agree.
those are the
Yeah.
limitations I set upon myself. And
That is why I thought it was so funny that in my campaign, when you finally met the guy that you had prepared 5 sessions for
Yeah.
to meet, you simply talked him out of his goals,
yeah, which
And-
was epic in its own
which was
way.
epic in its own way. But and the conclusion was epic as well, because stuff happened with souls and everything, or answers, so to say.
Yeah.
But all these kinds of things happened. But that was a very difficult fight as well. If you had chosen that,
It
way.
felt like. I mean, I know it's a computer game, but it's one of the best, and I'm sure you agree. But it felt like Planescape Torment,
yeah, you could defeat the boss by just
talking
talking.
and saying the correct things. Yeah.
Yeah. Here I am, a player. Coincidentally, another clerk. I don't know why this is coincidentally another clerk, but
Maybe he talked about it because this is not his first answer on the show, I think.
no, that's true. Yeah.
So he might have talked
yeah.
about the clerk before.
Currently playing in a 5th edition campaign that's been running for 2 years. Yeah, and the other thing is that
It's
that's the Dungeon Master perspective.
Yeah. So from a perspective,
So how are you feeling, Jake?
yeah, how is it when
Yeah,
it's coming this close to an end?
yeah.
And why didn't the other stuff work out? Was it logistics? Oh, he's nervous. Nice.
I'm nervous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the best way to be, right?
Yeah.
Nervous. Yeah.
Well, yeah, nervous, not anxious, nervous. Just feeling the good vibes and
yeah.
wanting to do it, and
Yeah.
having the sense that you might fail, but also the sense that you might succeed and bring
Yeah.
glory.
Yeah. So, hope it goes well for you.
Yeah.
It's like this could end so badly, but it could also
Yeah.
end so amazingly. Yeah.
But that's exactly what that's the good. Then your DM has done a good job.
Yeah.
If you feel like that going into this fight or this session, I'm not sure if it will even be a fight. I mean, doesn't always have to be a fight, right?
Do you remember my final battle in the night below?
Would be about The DM says that Big Bad would be about CR 50. That's insane. 50?
And you are?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're like 55, then it's okay for me.
But what did you say?
The final battle in the night below. In the end, they defeated the big bad boss. One of them was standing, gathered everyone in their folding boat, and sailed away from an exploding city. And he could grab magic that was flying around and catch that in the boat. I've always been thinking, was that the proper ending of that adventure, or should I have resurrected them by magical means and let them all have the catch magical items from the air, and let them sail happily ever after, for example?
No.
Okay,
Why?
Thank you.
No, I don't think so. I think that because only one person was standing. I mean, they're all alive now. We resurrected them, right?
Yeah, one was dead, but he got resurrected.
He got better. Yeah,
he got better.
But
Yeah.
but that's
At great cost, by the way.
yeah. But from a DM perspective, if you tax your players that much, like having them spend all of their resources, all of their spells, all of their HP, then you did it right. If they win in the
Yeah.
end. If they die at the end, you did it wrong. TPK,
Yeah.
then you failed as DM.
Yeah. We
Levels.
are level 17 at the moment, but the DM will be upping us to 20, I think. If it's any comparison, we beat Orcus in 3 rounds of combat.
Oh, 3 rounds.
Yeah, but okay. Here's
But
my
it-
thing with
with
legendary creatures
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in 5th edition.
This is my thing with 5th, by the way. That 3 rounds.
Yeah, that as well. But it's also not to do the thing on your parade.
No, we don't
No.
want to stand by your parade.
No, because that would have been, it probably was a very cool battle, and this
And 3 rounds can last a long time.
yeah. So it's not about that, but legendary creatures in 5th edition, I think they are weak.
Most of them are, yeah.
Yeah, and if you compare, especially 3rd edition and 2nd edition monsters, those final bosses, their stats with those in 5th edition, then man,
Yeah.
those were harder.
But everything, but I've said this before, but to you at least, everything in 5th edition is front-loaded. Like, you don't have to you walk up to it and you can do your full range of actions. Mages can cast their level 9 spells first and stuff like that. All the damage, everything you do, it comes down to those first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And afterwards, it's just people run out of stuff. Well, okay, mages on that level, they don't. But
Yeah.
you use your cooldowns and your abilities, and
Yeah.
then it's gone. And then you make basic attacks until the combat ends. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's not to say that Orcus isn't great, because he is. And I think that meeting him always makes for a great story arc.
It sounds epic.
Yeah, it sounds epic. But I can imagine that a CR50 creature would, in a sense, be the right encounter. For
a level 17 to 20
is a
Spartan.
bit...
Yeah, but CR, I don't...
Yeah, CR high, so to say.
I don't put that much value in CR. It's like, I think in those tiers I said before. Like, and CR...
But in monsters, you have the exceeding tiers.
Yeah, but I don't think of monsters in the same way as I do characters.
You like the hard encounters for that tier of...
exactly. And I think like CR50 might be a tier 5 monster. For, how big is this party? Is it 6 people, 4 people? And then if they're all level 20, then I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, level 17 and 20, you have so much at your disposal to use. And hopefully, I really hope 5 people.
5 people,
yeah.
I
really
love 5
hope that
people parties, by the way.
That it takes...
I think it's a
Yeah,
niche,
I'm more of a six player, but...
with 6 players, they divide.
Oh, yeah, like that, okay.
Yeah.
2 clerks.
Clerk, 2 wizards.
Oh, you have a paladin. Oh.
Yeah, and tank everything. Right?
Paladin OP.
With a clerk.
Wizards OP.
But I like,
wow, so many casters, though. A clerk, 2 wizards and a sorcerer, and the paladin as a meat shield. That's a lot of spells.
Yeah, it's a lot of spells, yeah.
But yeah,
But that gets through legendary resistances pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wish you all the luck.
And I hope your DM really delivers, because it sounds epic, and I hope you have an epic experience and come out, win or lose, that you come out with a good feeling.
And as always, when someone is in chat, I always ask, did we do justice by your answer?
Yeah.
So I would like to hear that. And if you want to expand on the story, please do.
Definitely. And if you've had your session, we have Discord. If you want to post there how it went, then
lots of spells.
We'll definitely give that a read.
That's, certainly. And I also like to give you the attention if you get here on Talking Void in chat again, and you just say, "Can I talk about this?" And then we'll
definitely
talk about it during the main topic. Thanks,
That's
guys.
what we're here for.
Our pleasure. Yeah, you did. Thanks.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I really liked your answer, and I think that it's the perfect spot in the show because now we're going to the last one.
Yeah, last one is not a...
Yeah, so I did this one because like campaign ending is a thing, and we're going near the end of the show. But it's also a thing like, is a campaign ever
Over.
ever over?
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys informed.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks. Awesome.
And then we have this one, which I also thought was a very interesting one. Randy says, about 3 years, but I learned two things. I get bored with campaigns and I suck at endings. So now when I play, now when I plan for the future, I try to keep both those things in mind.
So he doesn't want to play a campaign that never ends. Or something.
He never wants to get to an end. So I think he just does things that last like 5 sessions and then skips to a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just does things. That's cool.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was really interesting because you always, I'm running this campaign, I'm doing this thing, we've been at it for 38 years, and this is the way you play Dungeons and Dragons, even if you watch Critical Role. No, you play it the way you want it. And if you, or Randy, probably, but could be she, they got bored with campaigns. So there was another way to play Dungeons and Dragons for this person. And that is always a thing, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could even do old school dungeon crawling.
Yeah.
Just have this infinite dungeon map and just go.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I thought that was a great one to debunk everything.
And endings are hard. Endings
are hard. Yeah.
I can tell you from experience, it's what stresses me out the most as a DM. Are the endings, because if you do an ending, it ends, and you have to deliver. I think, and you have to make it satisfying for both you and the players.
Yeah.
And players have a lot of different tastes and preferences. And you have to try to cater to them all, and you have to wrap it up in a nice little bow and make it feel satisfying.
Yeah, which is the scary thing.
Because in this last few sessions in the Precipice, I took a lot from everything you did here, and I made it all come together in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think that's important to do as well. That if you do an ending, make sure it's an ending, even though the ending is a new beginning or setting up something greater. But still. Yeah.
On those words, I think you did it justice. Yeah.
So, you want to end this?
Let's end this. Always scary. No, let's go out with a bang, right?
Oh, yes, the question for next week, or?
Well, I might have.
Ooh. Oh, it does say end there.
Yeah.
Can you deliver?
TV end. For our next TV, do you A, choose option B, choose option C, or C? Well, up to you.
I'm going to go with D, all of the above.
There we have it. All of the above is the next question we'll be asking on Talking Void. What will be your answer?
So I gather you don't have a question for next time.
No, I actually thought this was a great way to ask the chat for an answer, but then I didn't think it would be like 8 past half. Oh no, we don't say it like that in English. I just watched a video from people that come from other countries, like expats, you know. They come here
it's
and
a quarter past 11:23.
Yeah. I don't understand the Dutch way we do the clock thingy. Glad to be here. Yeah, it's so cool that you were here.
No, actually, when they say 12:30, they mean what we call 1:30. Coincidentally, when it's 1:30 over here, it's 12:30 over there. In the UK, at least.
Yeah. That as well.
It's not confusing at all.
But you are forgetting the past now. Well, no, you aren't really forgetting the past, but saying past in between those words. Yeah, we don't do that in Dutch.
No, but they do that in the UK at least. At least the people I know, they say 1:30 or something like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I actually had to clarify, do you mean 1:30 or?
Yeah. Oh, halfway to.
And then we were the crazy Dutchies. So, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So if there are any people remaining in chat, because we are now...
Yeah, if you're still awake and you know a question for our next talking point.
And otherwise I come up with one off screen, because unless you have one at the ready.
Not at the ready, but we'll definitely have one next Monday during the Precipice of Dreams, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Don't think there's going to be on. Half one is one. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. And half one is 12:30 for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
man,
let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
you're falling asleep here.
I'm not falling asleep, but I'm suddenly thinking about all the things that I need to do in life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So all
great
good
show,
things
guys.
must come to an end.
You.
No.
Take it away.
No. I don't want to do the ending. It's I did an ending last time.
Did you have a blast?
I had a blast. It's really great to be here again.
Yeah, that as well, right?
Yeah.
And I really like the setting. I did it with Michel, of course, and the interaction is different.
Definitely. Yeah.
Have a great rest of the day. Maybe I will be live tomorrow with the rest of Call of Cthulhu. Well, would be great, Michel. Thanks to everybody in chat. Really enjoyed you being here. Yeah. Thanks, Aberforge, for staying with us
so long.
Your
answer. Yeah.
And glad we did right by your answer. If you have people who would like to see shows like this, just redirect them to us. And this episode will be up about Friday. Although Misha might be busy, I don't know. But most of the times it's about Friday.
Yeah, he has a schedule, but it's okay if he doesn't.
No,
make it.
And that's the whole truth. So I'm looking forward to the Precipice of Dreams, level 5 bow and good heart.
Me too. New story arc.
New story arc.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. TV and POD will always be up on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, so soon, TM.
Yeah.
Then be sure to, if you're still, check out our socials, !socials on Twitch chat for our Linktree /Voidcast Live. Yeah. We have all manner of stuff there, including our Discord. Check it out, join our community, talk with us, give us answers to questions we ask, or come with questions of your own. Yeah. And we'll answer them for you. So
indeed. Yeah.
Check it out.
Have a nice evening. See you later.
See ya. Bye.
Alligator. After a while, crocodile. Caca. Okay, bye.